and call the shots. You keep the story moving along. Hey, Boozer. Until one day, your doctor says you have chronic lymphocytic leukemia. That wasn't part of the story. For CLL, my doctor recommended Calquence.
Calquence is the first and only BTKI to offer 2 approved all-oral chemo-free options: ongoing treatment with Calquence or fixed-duration treatment when combined with venetoclax. Calquence can cause serious side effects which may lead to death. This includes serious infections, bleeding problems that may increase with blood thinners, decreased blood counts, new cancers including skin cancers, heart rhythm problems, and liver problems. Tell your doctor right away if you have flu-like symptoms, blood in stool or urine, fast or irregular heartbeat, dizziness, feeling faint, chest discomfort, shortness of breath, stomach pain, dark urine, or yellow skin. Calquence may harm an unborn baby. Ask your doctor about pregnancy and breastfeeding. These are not all the side effects. Use sun protection.
And action.
Ask your doctor about Calquence. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
They don't know the first thing about you or Walmart Plus. Like that, Walmart Plus members get free delivery on more than just groceries. Free delivery on these apples and this shirt. Knowing about Walmart Plus is a beautiful thing.
NASCAR tracks have mascots like Lugnut and Sparky, but the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup is approaching, and the matches will be taking place in Canada, Mexico, and here in the U.S. These are their mascots, or some of them. Canada's Maple the Moose, Mexico, it's Sayu the Jaguar, and Clutch, my favorite of all, Clutch the Bald Eagle, representing the United States. You know, and Daniel Suarez was the very first one of a number of soccer fans who checked out the FIFA World Cup trophy that has been on display this weekend in Kansas City. The trophy in the middle of making some 38 stops across 3 host countries. Fox, of course, your home and host for the 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup that begins on Thursday, June 11th. Kansas City hosting 6 World
Maple
Cup
the Moose, what?
Arrowhead Stadium nearby here, where the Chiefs of course play.
What the fuck is up, everybody? What is up, motherfuckers and party people? How the hell's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great fucking day today. I'm having a good day. Because it's race day. That's always the best day of the week. It's the race day. Cup race day. Looking forward to a great race today.
Drivers greeting the crowd here in Kansas.
Yes, we're on the float, and we're part of this parade. Carson Hocevar looking to become a first-time winner like Ty Gibbs did last week. What do you think of your chances today? Great qualifying effort in 6th.
Yeah, I thought it was the best our car's ever been here. Like, I always think our mile and a halves are best, but for some reason this one hasn't been very good. So, but I like our car. It drives a lot different.
Yes, today we got the Advent Health 400 from Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. What race is this on the air? Is this race? I don't even know. What race number are we on? I always lose track after like 5. I don't even know what race we're on. What race are we on?
What do you think about your chances here today getting your first win of the year?
I don't know. Mine was not great in practice, but in qualifying, obviously our fast first shot track tour was pretty good. I don't know what to think.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is race 9 of the season.
With Johnny and JP Morris, and went to Big Cedar and all the things. So it's been a fun week. Hopefully cap it off with a win.
Great dad, great driver. Let's go over to Regan. Our float has come to a stop here, Regan.
Well, Chase Elliott won in exciting fashion last time we were in Kansas here. So what do you think? Go for another one today?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Definitely a good day for it. We're going to give it our best shot. It was a lot of fun, here last fall. Really fun race, and thought we were really solid throughout the day too. So excited to try and build on that with our Napa Chevy today, and hopefully execute a good Sunday afternoon.
All right, have fun out there today. And Daniel Suarez, we just saw you on camera a moment ago. We're actually going to talk to you now. So great starting position for you. A great start to the season. How do you keep it rolling today?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the main thing, and I have mentioned this to my team, every single week, we have to continue to focus on ourselves, right? We have to continue to build on top of what we have already. And yeah, we're doing good, but we're not winning yet. So there is still room for improvement, and we have to continue to put one foot in front of the other, and hopefully we can very soon be fighting for wins.
All right, we'll look forward to watching you out there today. Chris, we're holding these guys up. We got to let them go.
I know, they got to get rolling here. And by the way, today is the 300 Cup start for Bubba Wallace and his car, sponsored by the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Now, later this month, he'll be inducted into the club's Alumni Hall of Fame and is gladly displaying his involvement.
Earliest memories of
the Boys and Girls Club. I remember it was a 50-yard dash. I won it every year that we did it. 3 years of being undefeated. I remember it was kind of like another couple hours of recess. It was fun. This weekend's a special one for me and my family personally. 300 start.
The World Cup mascots are at the track. The World Cup is dumb. Nah, that's mean. I just think how the World Cup is like you can't tailgate at the World Cup.
It's just special. I've always said I don't really meet strangers. You know, I can kind of have a conversation with anybody. Different mindsets, different attitudes, different mentalities. And I think that stems from those moments of just being around the Boys and Girls Club. It makes me appreciate who I am and where I'm at and the people around me that have gotten me here. I need you on today. Boys and Girls Club, they understand what's going on. Teaching these kids the ups and downs, the lefts and rights, and all else in between. Just shaping the future. You know, there's potential leaders, there's potential doctors, teachers, mechanics. You know, the possibility is endless. It's the true full circle moment right here in front of us. It's an honor to represent the club.
Bubba Wallace looking for his first win of the season.
So yes, today we got the Advent Health 400 from Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. It is a 267 lap race around a 1.5 mile racetrack, a mile and a half. So that comes out to 400 miles. Breakdown for today's race.
I'm happy for the team. Go. We just got to continue to press hard and stay focused.
Stages. Stage 1 is 80 laps. Stage 2 is 85 laps. That'll be lap 165. And then the final 102 laps of the race will be the final stage. 9 sets of tires. The fuel run is 62 to 70 laps. So actually you'll have to pit under green in every stage. I'm assuming they'll just probably split the stages in half. Probably pit around lap 40 in the first stage. Probably around lap 40 in the second stage. Probably around lap 50 of the third stage. That's if it all went green.
Has kind of taken over that role this year.
Yeah, Chris, there's no doubt that internally Bubba Wallace has put a lot of pressure on himself, and he referenced it. When your teammate has won all these big races and is having the success, you put the pressure on you. You know you're in the same equipment. When I look at his results, I don't think they show how well he's run. He doesn't have a top 5 finish at this year yet. He scored the 3rd most amount of stage points of anyone this season. So running well, but not getting those finishes.
Yeah, in the top 10, he was at 8th in points, and obviously with Toyota doing so well, has a good chance to get that first win of the year. We'll continue live as we're getting closer to the start of the Advent Health 400. 400 miles of pure entertainment. And if you're wondering what drivers are thinking before they hop in the car, well, that's Michael Waltrip's job. That's what he does. Gridwalk coming your way. There's Joey
Kansas Speedway. Why'd you spell it like that, Jaden? Why'd you spell it like that, boy?
Trying to predict the future is a hazardous occupation.
Why'd you do that?
This will be absolutely fantastic. I'm thinking of the
Win picks for today. My win pick is Tyler Reddick. He's on pole. Jaden's win pick is Christopher Bell. And Dom's win pick is Ryan Blaney. For me and Dom's betting thing that he doesn't work, you put in $5 if you pick a random starting spot. If the guy who starts in that spot wins the race, you get all the money. I won last week. I got $115 off of that. But Dom's starting spot is 20th, and my starting spot is 13th. So Dom has Austin Dillon, and I have Chase Elliott.
About any medicines you take. If
Aspie?
Hives or plan to receive a live vaccine.
Aspie.
Aspie.
Oh. But nobody pees out of their ass, Jaden.
I mean, I am.
Thanks for meeting me here. Usually not an interweb dating guy. Barely ever use this phone computer. Unless it's to bundle my insurance with Bibbity.
Oh, same. I hate this thing, but it's true. You can save hundreds bundling with Bibbity. Bibbity?
Bibbity.
Bibbity.
Are you hungry? Let's get some blood right now.
And some tender relief.
Only pay for what you need.
Jaden, you don't pee out of your ass.
All grind. Absolutely incredible. All grit.
Game 1 of the Suns playoffs will be starting during this stream today. I will not be live for that. Starts at 3:30. I probably will have my scoreboard up here while that's happening, but yeah, I won't be watching. I won't be streaming. Just hope my boys can somehow pull out a win against the Thunder. It's gonna be a tough series, but you just gotta have hope. Gotta have hope.
Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Tried, tested, proven, legendary.
Follow the yellow brick road. And you'll end up here.
How you doing today, Jaden? How's everybody doing?
Kansas. Green flag in the air. Here we go. Converging paths paved with dreams and dedication. Smack dab in the middle of America. A city divided by states and unified by sport. Rooted in tradition.
Green flag is set for 2:19 today.
At this crossroad,
1:19 local time.
this is Kansas.
Hey, and a reminder here, it's all day.
Yeah, Red Sox also be playing during the race. They were going to be starting at 1 p.m. today, but then they actually moved the start time to 4:30 because of weather.
A full day, wall to wall.
I'll be live for the Red Sox tomorrow. I'll be live at 11 a.m. It's the annual 11 a.m. game for the Marathon Monday.
Gathers here, great weather day here. In fact, it's an AI type of weather day, but let's go for the real thing and the grid walk with Michael Waltrip. Michael?
And there's no.
How's Sam? I'm doing good because it's race day.
Chris, and look at this card, Boys and Girls Club of America. Bubba Wallace, Jim Clark. Jim, CEO of Boys and Girls Club. As a young kid, you enriched my life at Boys and Girls Club, and I know you've done the same with Bubba. Thank you for all you do.
Well, Michael, we're so proud of what Bubba's done for Boys and Girls Clubs across the country, and we are honored to have you already in our Alumni Hall of Fame. And today we are announcing the induction of Bubba Wallace into the Boys and Girls Clubs of America's Alumni Hall of Fame in 2 weeks.
That's got to feel so cool. You've done a lot of wonderful things in your life. Another great honor, huh?
Yeah, no pressure, right? It's a 300-star having the Boys and Girls Club of America on the car, fast car, Kansas. It's a recipe for success, and yeah, it's just an honor to be representing the brand.
You've won here before. Do it again.
You try.
Thanks for your time. Nice to meet you. Thank you. See if we can find Christopher Bell. See, Bell, I was just thinking, you got Blaney back there, you got Bubba, you got Bell. I think the winner's name is going to be with a B. We got some good.
Do we see another flip? I doubt it. That'd be
How are
crazy.
you feeling? You feel good about your car? Was yesterday fun?
Or it could be like Michigan.
Talks about it.
Michigan 2024, where we just didn't expect to see any. We saw 2 in 1 weekend.
So there's a car up top, you're going to go low. If there's a car low, you can go high. So restarts are always incredible here, really fun to watch. Sometimes they can be fun to be a part of, but they can also be very frustrating to be a part of too.
I tell you what, let's eat.
Let's eat.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, looky here. The mascots. This is so cool. Maple the Moose Zayu. Look at you. Look at you. Wonderful. Your name is Clutch. You get the race started when you drop the clutch. How does that feel knowing that all starts with you? Man. Okay, well, have fun. Thanks for the scarf. That's beautiful. How's everybody? I got a scarf. The World Cup is coming to North America, and it's going to be...
But yeah, a little
We've got World Cup action on
NBA playoff update, because I think, yeah, the Celtics and 76ers just got underway. Actually, they're in the second quarter, about 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Celtics up 49-31 against the 76ers. That's game 1 of that series.
Hey, Chase Elliott, I just got called Magic Mike. I'm starting to really come up in this world, I think. Things are happening for me right now. How about you?
To be determined, I guess. We're fixing to get going, so I hope it's a good day. We'll see. You got nice weather, so it's a good start.
I'll tell you, this car makes me happy, the Napa Chevy. Good job.
Yeah, it always makes me happy, too. So they're good folks. They've been good to me, so we're happy to have them.
Awesome. Good to see you. See, hey, see what William Byron's going to do. Willie B. Michael Waltrip, Fox Sports with the scarf on. How you feeling about today, buddy?
I feel good, man. Weather's awesome. Car felt really balanced in practice, so we'll see.
How about Kansas? How's your trip out to the Midwest been?
It's been fun. It's been fun. It's I like it out here. I like the barbecue. That was the first meal I had.
Hey, let me deal with something for you. Ain't a lot of boys named Gary anymore.
It's a good one. That's a good. I like Steven Wilson Jr. too.
He is the best. That song makes me happy.
Yeah, that's good. He's got a lot of good ones, so he's on the up.
Ain't a lot of girls named Debbie either.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? There's plenty.
Yes.
I love golf.
Let's do it.
You know what I found? There's a lot of Chris's, and there's like one too many hanging around here. It's Myers, so we're gonna have to send it back to him. Myers, take over, buddy.
All right, thank you, Michael. William Byron has a good run. Toyota's the top 5 fastest in practice, so it's Reddick and Hamlin on the front row. Kyle Larson hoping this is the day to get back track against a victory lane. Ryan Blaney hoping the 12 pit crew will help him out and correct their issues. 400 miles, 400 agendas, and a story to tell every lap.
Let's get these pre-race ceremonies underway.
Please rise as you are able. Remove your hats. And veterans, render a hand salute as the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department Honor Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer today's invocation, please welcome President and Chief Executive Officer of Advent Health, South Overland Park, Dallas Perkypile.
Please join me for prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the power and speed we are about to witness today. We ask for your divine protection over every driver, crew member, and official on the track. Surround them with your safety and give them precision in every turn. Lord, bless this gathering, grant a fair race, and bring everyone home safely at the end of the day. In Jesus' holy name, amen.
Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome from the United States Air Force Band of Mid-America, Technical Sergeant Ray Ruffin.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Woo! America! Time to get revenge for Briscoe ruining his chance to win in 2024. Man, you're still caught up about that. That was the fall race though, so this technically wouldn't be the same thing.
So your messy microwave? No problem. Spaghetti's back on the menu. Zep, messes have zero chance. The world's biggest sporting event hits the floor. The World Cup Trophy. Brazil, horn, blowhorn, pass. Oh boy. Only Wednesday on Fox.
Dear Spring, we've got 0 down leases at Burdick Toyota.
But we have Dom and Nick next week at Talladega. I'm not sure about Dom. I'm not sure about Nick either. Let me see. When does Nick work next week?
With over 30 years of experience, our staff prides themselves.
Nick works till 4 next week, so maybe he can come for the later part of it. Dom. It just depends on when the Mets play next week. When do the Mets play next week?
Tons of trucks, so many SUVs.
Next Sunday. Next Sunday. They play at 1:40, so it's probably the same thing. Maybe they'll both come for the later part of the race.
Just $274 a month.
24 months. Or save over $8,000 off the MSRP. During Chevy Truck Month. 3.9 for 60 financing available too.
Drive everything at Burdick Chevrolet at Drivers Village. Together, let's drive. See what's here at BurdickGM.com.
Subs are back at Burn Dairy and Deli. Delicious hot options like the meatball sub and cold subs, perfect for lunch, dinner, and feeding a crowd. Enjoy fresh baked white or wheat rolls with meats and cheeses sliced fresh daily. Order a classic combo or build your own with all the fixings, plus drinks, chips, and a cookie. Download the Burn Dairy and Deli app for special offers and easy ordering and delivery from DoorDash. Burn Dairy and Deli. It's all good.
For the best quality exterior cleaning.
I'm ready for some racing today.
C&C Pressure Wash Pros is the only place to go in Central New York.
Hi, I'm Chris.
I'm Daisy, and we are
Who's everybody else got winning?
Curb appeal starts here.
Dear Spring, we've got 0 down leases at Burdick Toyota. Lease a new 26 Tacoma SR5 double cab, with just your first month's $396 payment plus taxes and fees. Or choose 2.99 for 48 financing. Signed, Burdick Toyota in Cicero.
You're watching Fox 68, WSYT 68.1, your local broadcast entertainment station.
NASCAR fans, the time is now to turn your love of racing into free tickets, merchandise, VIP experiences, and much, much more. Rack up fan rewards points by watching races at home, playing fantasy, completing challenges, and visiting tracks. Then redeem your points for epic prizes. You earn the driver's seat. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fan-rewards.
Somewhere over the rainbow lies a land of your wildest dreams. 400 miles in Kansas.
I honestly don't know how some NASCAR fans missed the O'Reilly race yesterday. Well, if you got other shit you gotta do. But I would never do that. I would never miss it. Need a prayer for your voices right now? What's wrong with your voice?
Just west of Kansas City. Welcome to the Advent Health 400 on Fox, presented by Toyota. 25 years ago on farmland, they built this racetrack. And growing up all around it has been a huge area of shopping, entertainment, and sporting facilities, anchored by this, Kansas Speedway. It's always been a great place to race and one of our favorites because it's home.
Is the new Chiefs Stadium going to be in the same complex as Kansas Speedway?
Laps here as Kevin Harvick. But the real,
I know they're actually moving to Kansas.
This 7th generation race.
They've always been in Missouri.
Right at home on these mile-and-a-halves, and especially this one.
Well, it has put on great shows on this style track, but this Kansas track has evolved into one of the raciest racetracks that we go to. But today, the question is, can anybody beat the Toyotas? They've been just dominant as we've started this season. We haven't seen the Chevys really be able to compete anywhere but Las Vegas. And you see two Toyotas on the front row with Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs right behind him in third. So can anybody beat them but themselves?
Well, let me see if I can find one, Kevin. And I think, folks, if it's somebody, it's going to be Kyle Larson. Got close last week. This race last year was his last win. We need a win with this 5-car. Kyle Larson can get that job done.
We haven't yet mentioned the Fords. Chris Buescher is the fastest of those. Ryan Blaney has been the fastest on track, but has been let down by his pit crew. They've made a change at the Jackman position beginning this week, and hopefully that'll keep him closer.
Yeah, so it will be in the same area.
You're not going to win these races unless you can get that car off of pit road, and they made some changes on the 12th, but it's yet to be seen as to how that
the new Royal Stadium's not actually anything that's been officially announced, I don't think, right? Has it?
The field that we'll detail throughout these 400 miles. 25 years of racing in Kansas. Let's get started.
Kansas Speedway, here to give the command of fire engines. Please welcome President and Chief Executive Officer of Advent Health Ottawa, Brendan Johnson, joined by his family.
Drivers, start,
Engines are fired, boys. Let's do this. Oh, good afternoon, Samuel Wilson. What's up, Matt Ranieri? How's it going?
37 drivers and teams at the ready to entertain a substantial crowd here in Kansas.
This is Arby's new French Dip Royale. One bite of the melty provolone, caramelized onions, and steak seasoning will have you saying, "Hello, Your Royal Highness."
Arby's, we have the meat.
What causes a current Peyronie's disease? There's somebody I can talk to or help.
It's your mom and dad's wedding anniversary next week. That's sick.
You guys got somebody for Peyronie's disease? Find a urology specialist.
They should go to Talladega.
Somebody.com.
It's a great place to have a wedding anniversary.
Runners will do anything to cut through the wind. Why? When you can go fast the easy way in hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. High-performance running shoes designed to cut through the wind with unbelievable speed. Plus, they're lightweight and feature Goodyear rubber. Go fast in Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst.
This is Arby's new Royale. One bite of the melty provolone, caramelized onions, and steak seasoning.
All right, but the engines are fired. Getting ready to roll off. But once again, get the race breakdown for today.
We've got a new intern joining us.
Let's make history, team. Talladega. Every tailgate gets
It's the Advent Health 400. It's a 267 lap race around a 1.5-mile track, so that'll come out to 400 miles. 219 is the green flag. Stages, stage 1 is 80 laps, stage 2 is 85 laps. So that'll be lap 165, and then the final stage will be the final 102 laps. 9 sets of tires. Fuel run is 62 to 70 laps. To the rear, Joey Logano is going to the rear for steering issues, and Gregson is going to the rear for unapproved adjustments. 5% chance of rain. Looks beautiful. Don't think we'll see that. Though we did see a little bit of sprinkles yesterday during the O'Reilly race. Race on Fox. Win picks today. My win pick is Tyler Reddick. He's on pole. Jaden has Christopher Bell, and Dom has Ryan Blaney. For me and Dom's thing that he does at his work, his betting thing, is starting spots. You pick a random starting spot. Whoever starts in that spot, if they win the race, you get all the money. I have 13th, and he has 20th. So 13th is Chase Elliott, and 20th is Austin Dillon. So, yeah, Chase Elliott is my money guy for this week.
Well, I think just good really being so. Yeah, we're all day, so clearly with each other here, that's for sure.
Tyler, we see a little warmer weather today. We obviously know that this racetrack is tough on the tires. Pace is a little bit different today. What do you anticipate different today than what you guys practiced in?
Yeah, you know,
Who's winning the race right now? Well, it didn't even get underway yet. So technically Tyler Reddick. I mean, not with the lag. Jeez.
It's going to be more of the same. Seems like even those cooler temps doesn't blame rubber, so rubber will go down, and the driver's looking to search for more grip.
All right, man. Have fun out there. Good luck.
Thank you, boys.
All right, let's take a look at the Advent Health starting grid. On the front row, Tyler Reddick.
Is this just what's going to be the stream today? Is it going to be one of those laggy days?
Wins at Kansas, all Toyota front row.
Row 2, we've got last week's winner, Ty Gibbs, and winner here before, Kyle Larson. Jamie?
Well, Kevin, it's been well documented how long it has been since defending series champion Kyle Larson. Almost forgot what Kyle was talking about, how long it's been since he's been back to victory lane, and it was right here last year. Well, I talked to this team. They are certainly not giving up. I talked to his crew chief, Cliff Daniels, and he said, we're right in the ballpark. You know, yesterday we didn't have the best practice session, but he said after some fine-tuning, he really thinks that if they can hit all their marks right here on pit road and his driver do his job, that they can certainly pick up their 4th win here at Kansas.
Row number 3 will give you Chase Briscoe, and on his outside, Carson Hocevar.
Row 4, Chris Buescher is the fastest Ford. He nearly won this race in 2024. And Daniel Suarez was the fastest Chevy in practice. Here's Regan Smith.
Well, Mike, as you just referenced, you can't come to Kansas Speedway without thinking about Chris Buescher and that finish in 2024. Of course, the closest in NASCAR history, where he came up just short of getting that first Kansas win. Since then, though, the 17 team has been very strong here at Kansas, including a top 10 in this race last spring. When I talked to Scott Graves, he told me today's challenge is going to be keeping up with the ever-changing track conditions and the differences, the massive differences from practice yesterday to what they're going to experience today.
Row number 5, and arguably the fastest Ford on track pretty much every week this year, Ryan Blaney, and 2022 winner, Bubba Wallace.
Row number 6, they give you Christopher Bell and Ryan Preece.
Row 7, a couple of Hendrick Chevys, Chase Elliott, a two-time Kansas winner, and William Byron rebounding from a rough time at Bristol.
Row number 8, going to the back today, Joey Logano and Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Row number 9, Shane Van Gisbergen and Michael McDowell.
And the 10th row, Eric Jones, Toyota, and Austin Dillon's Chevrolet. Now let's take a closer look at the importance of tire pressures with crew chief.
Their stepbrother Steven likes Joey Logano.
I think it's safe to say we take for granted just how important those 4 race cars are. They're truly the
I don't hate Logano. I don't like Logano. I just don't hate Logano.
Racetrack here at Kansas.
I'm neutral on Logano.
With tire pressure to help the performance of the race car, especially in the left rear. Let's take a look at yesterday's practice and see exactly how below the left rear was. Look how wrinkled the sidewall.
Full infield, love to see it.
Remember, they were out there running over 180 miles per hour in practice yesterday. Now let's go to our Toyota Camry cutaway car and look at the risk versus reward with left rear air pressure. Now Goodyear tells these teams do not go below 22 psi with the left rear, but they know that's a conservative number. They're going to go much lower, maybe down to 14 psi. Why? To increase tire grip.
Larry Mack.
Back of the car down to help the aerodynamics. But look
We love Larry Mack.
That's only 3 3/4 inches wide. Now, over the course of the run, he's going to build that air pressure up about 8 to 10 pounds, up to 22, 23 psi. But the damage to that sidewall was done when you were down at 14 psi. You're going to see it right here. It just completely separates from the tread of the tire, and this will not happen to well into a run. We've also seen issues here with the right rear tire. And guys, as the race gets later, that's when teams will
Larry
start
McDonald's.
and possibly step across the line of durability.
Well, you're not going to
Mac
win this
tonight.
race by not being aggressive on the air because the guy that can run them lowest is going to make the most grip, and being limited on the back with the travel, that air pressure is all you have left to get that diffuser lower to the ground.
What a perfect day for racing. Temperature's going to be in the low 70s. It's sunny. Yes, it's Chamber of Commerce, Kansas weather, Clint.
That's God's country is what you're trying to say, baby.
Well, I can see the other side of the state from the booth, so it's pretty flat, Clint.
Shut up, Harvick.
Laps for stage 1, 85 for lap 2, and the final stage 102 laps.
Yo!
Now we're down pit road. You'll need fuel every 65 laps or so. And Busch Light is giving you the chance to take home $1,000.
I need to do the 6-7 challenge. It's where you try to go like this as many times in like a, I don't know, 15, 30-second span.
For your chance to win.
But like they have this like tracking, they have like this tracking technology where it tracks how fast your hands are going. I need to do that.
You can run from the bottom to the top of the track around a mile and a half track, looking for speed, grip, and clean air. Split the 3 stages in half, or maybe come a little bit earlier, and all year long. And here at Kansas, execution on pit road last year was a comedy of Arizona.
You used to in love with Dale Earnhardt Jr. long time ago.
Here's some radio from Chase Elliott's team.
Have a good day, fellas. Appreciate all the effort. Nice day for it. Make it happen. Yeah, let's go all day long there. Wear them down. Be there when it matters.
Well, that's exactly what they do the best. They wear them down. They're very good at putting themselves to be in a good position at the end of these races. And we've seen it year after year, week after week this season. You can't beat yourself.
Kevin, Mike told us how many laps you've led at this racetrack.
Then he got married, yeah.
How hard is it to find a balance on these restarts?
There you go, Jaden.
That was one thing that was a challenge for me. Be good on the one one side or the other, but it was hard to be good all the way through the race.
All right,
Well,
getting ready to do this.
With this Gen 7 car, you have to be able to get yourself in a position where you don't lose a bunch of spots, and you want to be able to make that car turn, but not be too loose so that you can...
Oh, no, I saw somebody do like 400 on the H3 podcast. Somebody did AB. He did like 400 something. No, then Ethan did like even more than that. He got like 470.
Team changed the steering column after qualifying. Joey Logano's team changed the steering rack and pump, so they'll be starting from out back. The Toyota Camry XSE leads the...
All right, pace car's off. Here we go. 400 miles of racing right in front of us. Let's do this. Best time of the week. Green flag is in the air. We are racing from Kansas Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. Side by side into turn one, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin. Still side by side, a little bit of four wide back there in the pack.
Last week's winner of Ty Gibbs. Still four wide back there.
That's what makes this track so fun. The progressive making these restarts. It's
And who's going to lead lap one? Denny Hamlin's going to lead lap one.
Wow, you got two Toyota drivers that both refuse to lift. And was that contact?
Yeah, definitely a little bit of contact right there getting into...
But Tyler Reddick's going to get right past him in turn one. He'll pull away down the backstretch.
Yeah, we saw that.
Denny Hamlin doesn't want to let him go, though.
The way that entry is into turn one, you'd think that car is going to swoop up there further than it does, but that entry...
They are going fast and left. They're going real fast and real left, son. Fast and left. I've been drinking since 6 a.m. We out here, I don't know what time it is, but they're going real fast and real left, son.
Turn two, running the bottom of the racetrack because that top lane carries so much.
But I'm rolling deep.
As much time as possible in that top lane. We know the tires are right on the edge at the end of these runs. Wearing them out.
And that was a perfect snapshot of what that is. Running the bottom, it choked Ty Gibbs down right there. Huge, massive run on the outside of Hosebar. Not only got him clear, Gibbs drove right by the 5 car.
Yeah, and you see that massive run when the cars are side by side here. See Ryan Priest pull up right on the back bumper of the 54 and the 12. So
lead change, Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin takes the lead from Tyler Reddick
To cover and drops back down
on lap 4.
Let's go back and look at the contact earlier as they battled for the lead side by side.
Apparently they made contact. I didn't see it. Oh, yeah, no, they did make some contact.
Tyler was still hanging up the racetrack, and Denny was ready to turn down into the corner and just made a little bit of contact. You can see the way that wall straightens out right there. He almost goes straight for a second.
Did you see his hood flaps fly up?
A little smoke, hood flap fly up, never lifted.
That's that negative pressure, the air around these cars at 200 mile an hour. As soon as they got close to one another, pulled the air right off the front of the 40.
Christopher Bell's dropped 7 spots in the first few laps. That was Jaden's win pick, right? Yes.
Yeah, and where this story is really going to start to tell itself is once we get, 10, 15 laps into this race to see whose car is handling well. We saw it yesterday. They've created this weird little line off the turn 2 right there. They kind of go up to the wall and straighten the corner out on the exit. So we see a lot of guys doing that again today. But I believe that's hard on those right rear tires, which they take care of.
I wonder that Chase Elliott would win today. I mean, if he does, I win money.
Practice, they had the 5 fastest cars in practice, and here are the Toyota top performers as they run first, second, third, 6th, and 9th. Looking back from the Toyota cam the Advent Health cam. 12 and Griffin. And looking ahead from Ty Gibbs, Monster Energy Cam.
Well, the name of the game is grip, and nobody's doing it better than the Toyotas. It's exactly what we thought was going to happen. Jamie?
Well, guys, Denny Hamlin qualified second, but right away after practice, this team knew if they wanted to beat Tyler Reddick and everyone else in the hunt, they were going to have to make a change. Chris Gale, his crew chief, talked to him this morning. He said he lost sleep last night, literally trying to figure out how little of a change they're going to need to make the difference. Denny Hamlin himself came in first thing this morning. They went
people sleep on the fact that Denny Hamlin he's a hard worker, and he's very detail-oriented, and the conversations and the things that he can talk about with his teams are at another level than most of the guys, and that's what it takes to keep your car up in the front of the pack. But they've made some good choices so far, but this racetrack is going to change a lot as we go through the day.
This is the 7th straight race at Kansas that Denny Hamlin has led. Larry.
Yeah, Mike, I've been looking at Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick, things they're doing with brake and throttle. Reddick drives the car deeper in the corner than Denny, but he has to use a lot more brake than Denny. Denny's able to pick the throttle up earlier. He still has to play with it a little bit, but he's picking the throttle up earlier. So Reddick deeper in the corner, Hamlin's picking it up a little earlier on the exit of the corner.
And you can get away with a lot of different styles here. As the pace changes, you'll see some guys really start to dump out of the throttle really quickly. Denny Hamlin always notorious for being really smooth with the throttle, kind of having a lot of partial throttle through the corner and not lifting off the throttle all the way, but definitely a couple of ways that you can make the car go fast around this racetrack. And from a driver's standpoint, you have so many options to be able to use those different styles or where to run on the racetrack.
Reddick has the Xfinity fastest lap of the race. It came on lap 2. Reddick has led 4 races this year. He's won all 4.
Well, he's definitely been on a roll right now, and I think as we start this race and as the race keeps going through the day and the lines start to move around and it's not so straightforward on exactly what everybody's doing, as you start to struggle with your car at the end of these runs, that's where I really want to see what that 45 car has compared to this 11.
Well, as smooth as it is up front with Denny Hamlin, Reddick, look at the rat's nest back here. I've been watching Logano, Bowman, Berry right here battling. They are all over the place, swapping positions back and forth, trying to run the top, trying to run the bottom. It's a battle back there, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, and they're running 29th and 30th, and I think that when you talk about that, Joey Logano had to start last. Bowman qualified back there, and they're not making a lot of ground. I think as you look at +8 there for Logano from last, still going to be a long day. And if these guys go through this green flag cycle and have to make green flag pit stops, they're going to be in trouble before they know it.
Logano and his teammate Austin Cindric are the big gainers in these first 13 laps. Christopher Bell fell back 6 spots at the start of the race, trying to work his way back forward now. He is in 14th after starting 11th. That's a -3.
Yeah, we saw him, and he's got a bunch of trash on the front of that grill. Right at the bottom of the splitter, and that debris on the bottom of that grill not only make the car run hot, but it'll also affect the handling of how that air, depending on how it bunches up on the bottom of that splitter, how that air goes over the splitter right there and change the handling. I actually had that happen to me one year leading the race and got a tear off on the front of the splitter, and I couldn't even drive the car.
He would get married to his longtime girlfriend. Wow. Yeah.
Riley Herbst and Ricky Stenhouse.
A little more contact right there, Mike.
Same type of situation with Hamlin and Reddick. They try to arc it, getting into the corner with a car on their outside down on their door. 15 laps complete. Now, Denny Hamlin started second here last fall, led 159 laps, won both stages, and finished second. He's leading right now.
You never. Is this you?
Yeah, it's my new RAV4.
Do you think RAV stands for Rugged Adventure Vehicle?
Whoa, dude. I feel like it's the Ridiculous Acceleration Vehicle.
Isn't it the Recreational Activity Vehicle?
I guess it could mean anything you want.
Oh yeah? What else you got? Toyota.
Celtics up big at halftime. Not surprising.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that. What's wrong with going in circles? Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
What's good? Well, not much. How you doing, Andy? Just enjoying race day.
Are you Marcia?
I am. I am.
Thanks for meeting me here. Usually not an interweb dating guy. Barely ever use this phone computer. Unless it's to bundle my insurance with Liberty.
Oh, same. I hate this thing, but it's true. You can save hundreds bundling with Liberty.
Liberty? Are you hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get some lasagna.
And some cannolis.
Only pay for what you need.
Everyone has free offers on the latest phones, but T-Mobile gives a lot more. T-Mobile family saved over $3,700 compared to the other big guys in the past 5 years. Our experience plans include amazing benefits like Netflix, free Dash Pass by DoorDash, and a bunch more. Oh yeah, and a 5-year price guarantee. So you keep saving. Save on a big scale. Switch to T-Mobile and even pay off your old phone.
Or blame WrestleMania for scheduling their WrestleMania during NASCAR.
Welcome back to the Advent Health 400 on Fox, presented by Toyota.
Who is Sam Smith? I've ever heard of him before. He's that gay singer, dude. You know that one song where it's like, you say I'm crazy, 'cause you don't think I know what you've done. And when you call me baby, you know I'm not the only one. That song.
Yeah, but if you look across the interstate, Kevin, that flag's going a different direction.
Yeah, and we kind of saw that yesterday at practice. One of the most sensitive racetracks that we go to from a wind standpoint. And, you know, the drivers...
Samuel Wilson could be your future? No, I could not.
It's blowing against the right side of the car. It actually helps the car handle. But when it gets a tailwind down the back straightaway, it'll make it loose getting in the corner and have the opposite effect, make the front end, make the car not want to turn back down the hill in turns 3 and 4. Regan?
Well, Kevin, no word on the win right now from the number 2 car. Boston Cindric started 32nd, but already up 13 positions to the 19th spot. I spoke to him this morning, and he was scratching his head about qualifying a little bit. Didn't understand why they struggled so much, but he said the race trim, he did like where it was at. And so far, that's been the case in the race. The only word from the driver is just a little
I mean, unless you're hot.
He's moving to the top 20 now, where cars will get a little harder to pass. Kevin, yesterday in practice when we were watching, it was about lap 28 to 30 where things started to flip a switch with a handle, and these race cars are starting to approach that here 25 laps in.
Yeah, and that's, you know...
Remember a cartoon called NFL Rush? No, I do not. Remember, I wasn't really into football until about like 2019 or 2020. Didn't really get into it until like 2021, 2022.
If you're not familiar with Trimble, they supply engineering data to aerospace, transportation, and building contractors.
Hell, even then, I'd say I actually didn't really get into it until the 23-24 season.
Mike's always pulling something out of his pocket like that.
Well, that time he literally pulled it out of his pocket. I was like, what's he doing? Had to know. Well, Mike Massaro called this morning. He works for Brad, and he says, hey, here, you need a little info. Well, help me out. Here we go.
Hey, see Ricky Stenhouse right behind him right there. Running 18th, so not a bad start to the race for those guys. Actually qualified pretty well and were able to kind of hold that running position to start with. But Brad went by on his way to the front. Jamie?
Carson Hocevar, you guys mentioned him. He's moved up one spot from where he started. He told me before the start of the race that this is the best package they have had here at Kansas. He was happy with it as he gives up another spot there racing with Gibbs. Right now, listening in on his radio, he's tight, and he just radioed in. My right front is gone. And guys, we're about 8 laps away before
we're talking about. Either the right front goes or the right rear goes. I'd rather have the right front go first when that tire finally shuts off, and you just have to slow down to go to whatever the maximum speed of the car is to just try to make that thing survive until you can get to pit road.
Well, that's 4 of the top 5 all have the same emblem on the hood.
Well, there's his our teammate Suarez. He need one back from Brad Keselowski. Suarez and Hocevar both started in the top 10. Suarez was the fastest of all the Chevys in practice. Told me this morning how happy he is with his new team, his new position, and the opportunity in front of him.
Well, I was worried about him. I mean, he lost his ride last year, right? And when that happens, a lot of times it doesn't go better. And it went a lot better for him. And it looks good on him. He's in a good team, a good home, and he's doing a good job.
Yeah, and it has been a definite step in the right direction for Daniel and his performance. So you just never know how the driver crew chief team pairings are going to work. And when you see one that works out like it did for Daniel Suarez and Ryan Preece and some of the other changes that we've seen over the last couple of years, some of those work and some of them don't.
There is a though, and it's during the race. We have the speed with the race cars with Spire. We're unloading off the truck and qualifying well.
I gotta send my dad money. He did my taxes. Very nice fella. And now I gotta pay him to do that. So I guess it's a business transaction.
Tires, Larry.
Yeah, Mike, remember my Toyota keys to the race? I talked about splitting the 3 stages in half. This stage is 80. That would mean lap 40. But we anticipate we'll start seeing some of them come probably about 4 to 5 laps from now. But I'll say this. Denny Hamlin especially, Chris Gale, his crew chief, they're notorious for splitting it right down the middle. 40 laps and 40 laps.
Kyle Busch running in 24th.
I think they've got a little cushion to maybe do that.
We're starting to get into lap traffic here, Kevin. That's when the opportunity starts knocking.
Yeah, and that's when you find out whose cars are actually handling good up front, when these leaders start to get into lap traffic. And you got to have a versatile race car here. You got to be able to run the middle of the racetrack, to do those slide jobs, run the top, run the bottom. And a lot of times, if your car is just a little bit too tight or a little bit too loose, traffic will really emphasize what those characteristics are as you get towards the back of the field.
Now, Zane Smith just went a lap down. He started 23rd today. Cole Custer started 27th.
Ryan Preece headed to pit road. I don't know if that's just an early stop or if it's unscheduled.
I believe that's Ryan Preece, the first car on pit road. He was in the top 10. And pit stops begin.
Well, this is pretty early as you look at lap 32 right here of 80.
Got somebody else. 2 more cars on pit road.
But they don't want to get
that Nemechek.
They want to try to do everything that they can in case this thing runs green all the way.
Both the legacy cars are in. Eric Jones and
Yep, Eric Jones, John Nemechek's in.
She's open, boys.
Byron Sindik's coming in.
Yeah, and once those guys start pitting and you realize that the lap times have slowed down almost 2 seconds, you put a lot of pressure on the rest of the field to say, okay, I pitted early. I'm going to make up a second and a half, 2 seconds a lap for a handful of laps right here.
Pit road is getting busy.
Both the Childress cars are in. Austin
Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon are both in.
And you see the top of our screen right there. Denny Hamlin just continues to put him a lap down. He just lapped Ty Dillon in 26th position. So
you are a child of God forever.
Your stuff together on this pit stop to make some adjustments on your car. If you're not one of those cars that got
Jesus Christ
towards the tail end of this lead lap, where you're going to wind up being in trouble at the end of the first stage.
No, Jada, don't you hear? She's a child of God.
In qualifying, Josh Berry comes to pit road. Zane Smith, who went a lap down just a bit ago. Connor Zillich.
You know, Sarah, if you're hot, hit me up.
All Ty Gibbs is probably the one, in my opinion.
My IG is the same as my YouTube.
Little scuff on the outside of Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs has been in a wall right there. You see that right rear tire all scuffed up, fenders, both
right front as well.
Yeah. Keselowski, Van Gisbergen in the pit lane. Stenhouse is in. And here's Alex Bowman.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson.
Trouble right there on the 6 car on that left rear.
And we can just forget that child of God stuff. We don't do that here.
If you do have trouble on a pit stop, it's actually better to do that.
Larson's on pit road. Got Connor Zillich, Ty Gibbs, Josh Berry, Zane Smith.
The field has come
Daniel Suarez is in. Carson's going to run another one. Or, excuse me, Hamlin.
And for Denny Hamlin right now, when he's in a position where he had a big lead, he was able to stay on the racetrack and not have to pit before everybody else. So they're all going to pit. The next thing you know, he's going to have fresher tires again for the second half of this run.
Noah Gragson and Tyler Reddick, who started on the pole, come to pit lane. Jamie?
Tyler Reddick gets the countdown into the number 1 pit box. He feels really good about how the car is operating. Not a lot of feedback.
Do you have a girlfriend at all? No, if I did, I probably wouldn't be hitting on you.
As you see, Denny Hamlin, I believe, on pit road.
Along with Ross Chastain.
It could be you. Shit.
Chase Briscoe.
It could be you.
This should bring just about everybody to pit road. Jamie?
Denny Hamlin talked about his car was a little bit tight on the throttle and a little bit loose in. Nothing really.
No, isn't that like unethical to date you like one of your viewers or something? Yeah, that's like seen as like bad. It's unethical. I don't care. Oh! Allmendinger goes around on pit road.
Blaney was full accelerating coming out of his.
Blaney made contact with AJ Allmendinger. Yeah, this is disastrous.
On the line between two boxes. So the way it's cycled, Denny Hamlin, he's going to still be your leader. But
Disastrous for Allmendinger.
got Reddick in the exchange.
Carson Hocevar pitting from the lead.
Hocevar just coming to pit road, so they actually ran longer than just about anybody on the racetrack except for Joey Logano and Cole Custer.
So Hocevar was the leader when he came to pit road. As things cycle around, that will turn the lead over to Logano, who pits now. They're still servicing Allmendinger. He got the worst of it when Ryan Blaney was accelerating out of his pit at full speed as Allmendinger is coming in.
Yeah, I wonder if Blaney has any damage from that.
Blind spot trying to get out of his pit. So whose responsibility is that?
Well, typically it's the car that is pulling.
Allmendinger's still on pit road.
To be able to anticipate the car coming in. So usually the crew chief or somebody up on the pit box is calling that, or the spotter up on top of the roof. So you definitely, I always used to look in my mirror and try to anticipate when all that was going to happen. But I watched the Allmendinger pit stop from up here, and he's going to get another penalty for being over the lines.
42 laps complete. Here's Blaney pulling out as Allmendinger tries to get
Jesus Christ, Jaden.
And they collide on pit road.
You play by the rules. Then happen.
Oh, God.
Prices keep climbing. Every month, a new expense. And the debt adds up. So, how do you face it? It starts with a call, then a plan. At National Debt, we'll negotiate with your creditors.
That's all right, Sarah. We could just be friends.
Like that, you're back on track. When debt happens, we're here to help you take action. And
I mean, actually, Jaden's single, I think.
Call or visit nationaldebtrelief.com to get started.
Here's what we'll say about the road to greatness. The name Ford is synonymous with desert racing. You gotta keep pushing. The desert's not gonna let up. It sure isn't paved. It's a challenge just to finish.
Full Dr. Pepper cherry is the best.
It's Dr. Pepper blackberry is the best.
It's Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
I reckon it's Dr. Pepper strawberries.
So Denny Hamlin's back to the lead, about a second and a half lead over Kyle Larson. You're a mysterious man, Jaden.
Save up to 30% on moving and storage until May 18th, and see why.
I don't think Jaden got any girl.
One container moving company. Whether you're
You like
moving or
mysteries.
renovating, save up to 30% at pods.com.
This is Arby's new French Dip Royale. One bite of the melty provolone, caramelized onions, and steak seasoning will have you saying, "Hello, your Royale Highness."
I would be married to Alex Bowman. Oh.
Don't wait
waste money on your business model.
Okay.
Paying for stuff you don't
I think he has a girlfriend, but
business. Choose exactly what you want. Pay only for what you need.
actually, I think William Byron is single. William Byron?
Guaranteed for 3 years.
I think he's single. I know he was trying to. Who was that? He was trying to get Sabrina Carpenter. Yeah, he was trying to get into Sabrina Carpenter's pants.
Yeah, well, when it gets really hot, every turn matters. But yeah, I mean, when it gets that every turn.
Ryan, I get that, but can you take us through the last turn?
Like he said, every turn matters.
Just don't break his back out. Oh, damn, Jaden, that's a bad one. That's a bad joke, Jaden. Actually, wouldn't it be him breaking her back out? That's usually how it goes.
46 laps complete in Kansas. Denny Hamlin has a 1 3/4 second advantage over Kyle Larson after green flag pit stops. Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, Chris Buescher, the top 5. Well, other than Larson, obviously he got Reddick, Larry. Who was good, who was not? Well,
Blaney's still running in 12th after that contact that he had with AJ Allmendinger on pit road.
Other than anyone, Luke Lambert, his crew chief, was splitting it right down the middle. But the whammy was a 15-second pit stop, and now he's sitting back in 18th, almost 20 seconds behind the leader.
One of their air wrenches broke during the pit stop. That was the problem reported to us.
He was running 7th before that. Before the cycle of stops, he was running in 7th, so -5, but not as bad as it could have been.
Instance, the pit gun broke, and there's nothing they could do about that. But all these little things that happen on pit road are so hard to overcome.
So there is the pit cycle with the running order on the left and where they were when they pitted before the pit cycle began. On the right, Chris Buescher, a big gainer, up 4 spots since then. William Byron up 4.
No, he's not dating Ryan Blaney's sister anymore. They were, but then they broke up.
We'll be able to see if that plays off longer in the run. I mean, that's the balance, the counterbalance, if you will. You got to get this track position somehow, some way. Getting into the pits is probably the easiest way, Kevin. Regan.
Well, Clint, just to update Ryan Blaney, we saw that contact on pit road, checked with the team. They've got pictures of it, looked at it, told Ryan everything is fine from what we can see.
30 laps to go on the stage.
As well in terms of the steering. As for how it's been driving this race so far, started off tight, migrated too free, needed both ends of the race car to work a little bit better, but I did look at his right front tire that came off, and much like yesterday in practice, these tires are starting to string apart to where they're unwrapping around some of them. A number of tires up and out pit road like that.
Yeah, and talking about the tires, that's what
Bad pit stop for Carson Hocevar as one of his air guns broke. He was running 5th and now 17th.
Hocevar put Corey Heim and Riley Herbst 3 wide right there.
Oh man, Herbst almost fucked himself.
That was close. Riley Herbst has been kind of a target. Last week he and Kyle Busch got together with Busch spinning early in the race, and then at the end of the race, Herbst got turned around by Busch, but Kyle Busch did not go hunting.
Yeah, Blaney actually had a really fast stop there, but then got fucked up by making that contact with Allmendinger. I think he had the 6th fastest pit stop that cycle.
Herbst got loose off turn 4, and Kyle Busch just didn't lift. Guess what? They started right together, nose to tail, today. Speaking of Kyle, here comes.
And Kyle's about to get lapped.
I spent the last 2 days with Kyle down at the Barrett.
Why they want to date only NASCAR guys? Well, they have money, they drive fast, and they're really cool.
I actually asked Denny Hamlin about this before the race.
Imagine Kyle just wrecks Denny right here for what he said about him on his podcast. It wasn't even that bad. Like what Denny said wasn't even that bad, and it wasn't even false either.
Didn't seem to be the case right here, but this is the way that we thought it would go today. At some point, Denny Hamlin would catch Kyle Busch to put him a lap down.
He got ignominious?
Yeah.
Talk about pulling words out of your pocket.
That's ridiculous.
Denny Hamlin owns a lead of 2 3/4 second now on Kyle Larson. This is Tyler Reddick, who started from the pole and is now 4.5 seconds off the lead. That's the Toyota Racing Cam on board the pole sitter.
That shows you how hard it is to pass. Reddick, obviously the fastest car this weekend on the pole, had to move down out of the groove and really choke down his speed. Now we're going to try to stay on the outside, but you see if he did, well, he's going to move down and give us the opportunity to stay on that outside line, but very challenging to make passes here, Kevin.
And we've seen a lot of people run that line that Zane Smith just ran. We saw it all night last night in the O'Reilly race, where they kind of get to the middle and cut that thing straight down. Really hard on the tires. When you don't run that top of the racetrack, you want to run.
Andy, here's a trivia question for you. Do you know the only? Actually, I don't know if he's the only active NFL player, but I guess he would say probably the biggest name NFL player who played at the Battle of Bristol in 2016. Do you know who that is? I'll give you a hint. It's a quarterback.
As you get towards the end of this run, Larry.
That pass was a half a second slower. It slowed him down. Larry, sorry.
Yeah, I kind of want to focus on Ryan Blaney. Regan Smith was talking about this tire wear. Ryan was one of the cars yesterday that had a right rear that was wore out with a little bit on the right front. He pitted.
I'll give you another hint. He was at the race last week.
42 laps on this set right here, and definitely they told him after the pit stop the right front was wore out. I talked to Goodyear yesterday, and they never like to see tire wear, but they felt like it would get better today as the pace slowed down and the track took more rubber.
Lap times right now, Larry, to your point, about 1.3 to 1.5 seconds off the fastest laps of the day. Ryan Preece and Corey Heim racing a fourth car for Team 2311 in a part-time schedule, and that's 67. Up comes Brad Keselowski against his teammate. And Corey Heim trying to drive away from them.
Yeah, well, Corey Heim, we talk about how good all these Toyota cars are, and he was the very first car to go out in qualifying, so we expected him to go forward. He's been here and raced before, so it's not surprising to see him going towards the front of the pack.
This is Kyle Busch coming onto pit road, and look at that right front. Trailing
that's the right rear, Mike.
I think it's the right front.
Oh, there's actually two active NFL players who were in that game.
Hanging out of that tire, and that's not uncommon as these tires.
Do you know who they are? Actually, there's three.
They'll start unraveling that rubber.
There's three active NFL players who played in the Battle at Bristol, the football game at Bristol Motor Speedway in 2016. Do you know who those are? One of them's a quarterback, one of them's a running back, and the other one's a wide receiver.
61 Cup Series wins, 10th on the all-time list, and top of the board here in Kansas with 4 victories.
They all played for Tennessee.
First of which came in 2005 when this track was just 4 years.
Yeah, it's Josh Dobbs, yep. Do you know the running back? Do you know the running back who played there? Here's a hint. He works for NASCAR. He technically works for NASCAR.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
Mom, I got it.
You only watched half of that game, so you're not sure?
Change happens.
Well, the running back that I was talking about, he technically works for NASCAR. Is Alvin Kamara. He played in that game.
Imagine that.
And then, do you know the wide receiver? I'll give you a hint. He plays for the 49ers.
A Chewy pharmacy order is on the way for Homer, the homebody who only goes outside when nature calls. So Mom uses Chewy to get his flea and tick meds at a great price. Delivered fast, right to their door. For quality meds, for life with pets, there's Chewy.
Feels this cramped. For glide step, wide fit, hands-free Skechers slip-ins feel like this. The Skechers slip-ins just step in, no bending down, no touching my shoes. Try wide fit Skechers.
Jawan Jennings, damn right, you got it.
All grind. Absolutely incredible. All grit. All American. Make your move. This is Real American Freestyle, and Fox Nation is its home.
Corey Haim passed Ryan Blaney for P12. Very impressive run by Corey Haim.
Alex Palou is obsessed with speed. And when your average Sunday goes 250 miles per hour, it can be hard downshifting to the speed of Shelley. So you'll forgive Alex if the next time he decides to get milk, he doesn't get it here. He gets it here. You want to catch Alex Palou? Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
This summer, the biggest tournament on Earth comes to America, and you'll see it all right here on Fox. Get ready for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It kicks off June 11th on Fox and FS1. Mascots at Kansas.
Yeah, some of the World Cup games will be played at Arrowhead Stadium,
In Kansas City,
just across the city.
Busch has been on the radio. Remember, they had a tire issue on that first pit stop.
Jennings, I believe, was... Yep, he was in that game, yeah. It was Jawan Jennings. I think you spelled his name wrong, but...
Each team has 8 sets of
yeah, it's
tires.
Jauan. But you got it right.
If you're replacing them every 35 laps, you're going to be short. Yeah, you are. You've got to be cognizant of that. But, Mike, if they're wearing out, you have no choice. You got to put some on there. Remember, he pitted fairly early, too. He pitted in lap 33, meaning he's going to have to go 46, 47 laps on his run.
And the reason that he pitted right there, we saw earlier, was all the fabric hanging off the side of the tires. And it just, you know, his car seems to be wearing those tires out a lot quicker.
Pretty hard to believe looking at this. That's Denny Hamlin.
So we're on lap 69 right now.
Joey Logano, 3-time champion. Been tough sledding so far with the 22 car.
Actually, I think it already...
The last 4 weeks, Joey Logano has not been among the front runners. Look how much...
But yeah, Denny Hamlin is Mr. 69.
Look back from our Hunt Brothers Pizza Cam on board Joey, and that's Bubba Wallace getting up and against the wall in a 3-wide battle of Toyotas.
For some reason, the track map on NASCAR's website keeps lagging. I think it just kind of does that. Like, it's supposed to be, like, pretty accurate, but the live tracking feature is kind of difficult for it.
As you get about almost onto the straightaway, the front end always wants to take off and just barely got up there against the wall.
Well, that was a battle. That was a 3-wide fight for 6th place. Well,
I don't think it's meant to be perfect.
thank you guys. Got a 2-for-1 out of that exchange. Passing Briscoe and Wallace, who now fight for 7th. But 9 to go in this stage. Joey Logano is doing a good job keeping that leader from lapping him. That would be uber important. He's able to hold him off.
And the big thing for Joey Logano is he's got those cars right in front of him. So right now,
Chase Elliott almost got taken out by Bubba Wallace coming down the racetrack there, 3 wide.
You see right now, Denny Hamlin has put Joey Logano a lap down, but Logano is going to fight for his life right here as we have 8 laps to go in this stage. A lot of cars in front of him, so the longer
can't get it done.
The longer that Logano can hold him up, the better off his chances are that Denny Hamlin would lap another car to keep him.
Logano's trying to stay on the lead lap.
Exactly.
Battling with Hamlin right now.
He is slowing him down big time.
Well, Logano is very good at defending. There's Logano and Hamlin are probably 2 of the best defensive drivers on this circuit. So right now he's doing a good job.
From moment, I thought they were going to bring Todd Gilliland back to them, and Gilliland would have a chance to get back on the lead lap. But
Yeah, Logano's really fighting hard to stay on the lead lap here, battling with Logano, or battling with Hamlin.
Position to be able to put himself in a spot where he didn't have to run the bottom of the racetrack.
But he does go a lap down.
Well, the worst part for Logano is Todd Gilliland went by the 22 car right behind Denny Hamlin in this battle, so that takes him out of the free pass spot. All went bad right there for Joey Logano in a matter of a couple corners.
6 to go in stage 1 as we look back from the Ford Racing cam on board Gilliland.
Todd did a nice job of taking advantage of Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano going at it. You know, being on the bottom of the racetrack at this point in the run broke that momentum.
Now they pulled up on Shane Van Gisbergen and Michael McDowell, the 22nd and 23rd place car. And Hamlin's going to thread his way through here for these final 5 laps in stage 1.
Then you see the 97.
Got 5 to go on the stage.
All the way to the top of the racetrack, and that puts Denny back in a spot on the bottom where you just can't finish the corner to carry that momentum down the straightaway.
He's in a mess.
Yeah, and Todd Gilliland follows Hamlin through to get by the SVG as well. So
SVG's been carrying the flag for Trackhouse. Their other 2 cars are another 10 spots back. Here's Gilliland with a chance to get back on the lead lap. Maybe. Well, maybe not.
Well, right now he just wants the pace with Denny Hamlin.
McDowell almost came up.
And McDowell is going to go a lap down.
Larry, looks like the strategy game is alive and well today. I'm thinking about Buscher pitting early, got some track position, and was able to stay there, didn't really fall off and hurt him. Your job's getting busy.
Yeah, it is, and I felt like maybe those guys that pitted early, they would pay the price late in this run, but so far they've not, Clint. But that could change as we get into these longer stages. Pit road will close this time with 2 to go in the stage, and no takers on pit road. Everybody hunting stage points here to the top 10.
Yeah, right now
2 to go on the stage here.
Through the 21st place, which is Todd Gilliland right now. This 34 car, Clint, has actually followed Denny Hamlin.
Really no fall off. Looks like.
Actually had the pace to stay with him. Pretty interesting.
Just one more lap car ahead. Good catch, and that's Austin Dillon. Now, who else is worried about his right front tire? Our pole sitter. Listen.
Yeah, copy. I think some of this is the right front again. So, on this advantage. Yeah. Be ready. I'm going to have to try and make it.
Final lap of the stage here.
Final lap, stage 1.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. Sometimes you just get in a spot where you got to slow down and manage that tire. But this guy
Gives you a pretty good indication, too. It's not just settle. It's you start hearing it, you feel it in here.
Now, Gilliland wants
And around he comes.
Hamlin, so we won't have to start
Denny Hamlin onto the front stretch.
the free pass, but the green
And Denny Hamlin wins stage 1 at Kansas. Oh, wow. Todd Gilliland passed him at the last second.
He got a gift. Okay, thank you. That was a nice gift.
That's Denny Hamlin's 8th stage win.
It's about a 43-minute and 5-second green flag run to start the race. I'm going to go outside and smoke. I'll be back for the start of stage 2.
Kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
What causes a curve that's Peyronie's disease? Is there somebody I can talk to or help? You guys got somebody for Peyronie's disease?
There's hope for the estimated 1 in 10 men who may have Peyronie's disease, or PD. Find a urology specialist who treats PD at goGetSomebody.com.
Does RAV stand for Remote Alpine Vehicle?
Or Rugged Attitude Vehicle.
Or Random Activity Vehicle?
That's pretty cool. Toyota. Let's go places.
This is the story of the one. The one knows the unexpected can put everything on the line. But with a teammate like Granger, she's confident that she will always win the day. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Time for this rancher to find his wife.
I got my home. I just kind of missing that person to share it with.
Farmer Wants a Wife premieres Tuesday on Fox.
Racing is an expensive sport, and you know, I remember my dad working 24/7 because he's taking care of my racing. So the Spectrum sponsorship was huge for sure. I think my dad's the most excited about all this because he set up the original Spectrum sponsorship, and I think that's the coolest part for me is seeing how excited he is. So if I were to win in the Spectrum car, I think it would be unbelievable.
In 1776, America made a promise. In 1941, we proved we meant it. That fighting spirit still lives on in the Jeep brand. Now, with the Jeep Declaration of Deals, get 0% financing for 60 months on select 2025 models, or we'll cover your sales tax. Plus, no monthly payments for 90 days. Jeep, there's only one.
Or with our Declaration of Deals, well-qualified current Jeep Wrangler or Grand Cherokee 4x lessees can lease the 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport S for $299 a month. See your Syracuse area Jeep brand dealer.
This one's back to a lot. Dozens of harsh winters. Looks like it just needs a little bit of love.
We know roofs, even when they don't say a word. That's why Central New Yorkers choose Mello for their roofing, siding, and window projects. Backed by more than 1,000 five-star reviews and service you can count on.
Thanks for watching Fox 68 WSYT.
They had a pit stop there at the end of the race where they got him back out front and were able to maintain the lead. But he had 7 lap cars in between him and second place, so he had the lead and he had a big gap. They had a decent pit stop, but I mean the 12 team has not been consistent on pit road with errors and slow pit stops. But it's like, what would you do? I'm like, you don't want to know what I would do. I'm hell on wheels when it comes to pit crews.
Join Kevin and crew every Tuesday and Thursday for Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour. Now, speaking of pit crews, here's Jamie.
Well, Denny Hamlin's pit crew is ranked 5th so far this season. It's the same group of guys that went to victory lane 6 times last year, already once this year. Let's meet Team 11.
Ken Purcell, Bueller. Looking forward to some barbecue ribs later today.
Austin Maloney, front tire changer, former wide receiver at FIU.
Devin Euchre, rear tire changer, and I like long walks on the beach.
Joël Alexandre, Paris Boignon, Jackman, et je parle français.
Dylan Dow, tire carrier, and I build hot rods in my spare time.
That's a talented bunch on and off the track.
You know, I had just told you, Larry, that Buscher, that strategy did good. We know that he pitted early, but he lost, went from 8th to 12th on the last lap. Wonder if that was tire trouble.
Well, I think we got some radio that may tell us that. Well, what we're seeing, reading the radio, is the fact that maybe he's got a right rear issue and he slid up into the wall right before that stage ended.
Yeah, he's got some right side damage on that car.
Well, that's what we were wondering, right?
Yeah.
He short pitted, ran long on that run, and probably had a tire damage. You can see a little damage on the right rear.
All right, the pits will be open this time. They'll fill up with Sunoco race fuel with Poet Zero Carbon bioethanol and get some fresh Goodyear tires. Get ready for stage 2. Regan?
Mike, the 20 car Christopher Bell comes to the #1 rated team on pit road, and they will be able to focus on nothing but a good pit stop because he is pleased with the car. Said the balance is good. It feels really nice. The 9 car Chase Elliott felt like he hurt the right rear tire too much in that last run. Car was balanced good, but he hurt the right rear. Jamie?
Kyle Larson's at the back end, a little bit edgy. Got slick at the end. He actually hit the wall off of 2. They're going to make a right rear air pressure adjustment to help that grip. Meanwhile, the opponent of Denny Hamlin, who's dominated today, pulled free in, tight center off. Nothing major for the 11.
Trouble with 45.
Chase Elliott picks up 3 spots with a 4-tire change. Chris Buscher up 3. Lee White was a professional team manager and an Indy 500 winning engine builder. He headed up IMSA GTO road racing for Roush and Ford, and was in the same role for Oldsmobile, then became a key figure in bringing Toyota to NASCAR. He retired as president and general manager for Toyota Racing Development. Lee White passed recently, age 78.
Bipolar 1 can overwhelm your mind. Sometimes depressive lows and unpredictable highs can make it hard to get out of your head. Finding relief may help you break through. Ask about Vraylar. Some medicines only treat the lows or highs. Vraylar treats depressive, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults. Proven full-spectrum relief for all bipolar 1 symptoms.
Not for elderly with dementia-related psychosis due to increased risk of death or stroke. Report changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts to your doctor. Antidepressants may increase these in those under 25. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may not go away. High blood sugar may lead to coma or death. Weight gain and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, uncontrolled movements, tremors, feeling like you need to move, sleepiness, nausea, vomiting, and indigestion are common. Side effects may not appear for weeks.
Vraylar. Breaking through to relief. Ask about Vraylar.
Dear Friday, let's put good times in gear. We've got power tailgates to power game days. And a trailer backup guy that's the champ of the brand. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota Trust. Lease a rugged Tacoma with 0 down.
I'm back. We're getting ready for stage 2 here.
Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Look at the possibilities, because the day can take you anywhere. So can this rugged, powerful SUV. A 4x4 with the tech and muscle to go over any terrain. The Ford Bronco Sport. It's time to see Ford in a new light. Right now, trade-in customers and current lessees can lease a Bronco Sport for just $229 a month for 36 months at your local Ford stores.
I am so thankful we chose McClure to do our kitchen remodel.
Ryan Blaney, penalty, too many members over the wall. Jesus Christ, another pit crew mistake for Ryan Blaney.
For our family, the kitchen is a place we all gather. So when we discussed remodeling, I knew McClure would do it right. I really felt like the team from McClure cared and treated our home like it was their own. Whenever we have something to do at our house, we call McClure. We absolutely love our kitchen, but we can't wait to start on the bathroom.
You're watching Fox 68, WSYT 68.1.
It's been about the Denny domination. Started on the front row, has stayed within the top 5, has led the most laps in your stage 1 winner. He won first 2 stages in this race last fall, but did not end up winning that race. As we are coming to you, along with J.B. McMurray and Chris Myers from the beginning here of turn 1 with some nice people here. Thanks for helping us out. We appreciate it. All right, so we know Toyota's Denny dominating here. If not Denny, is Kyle Larson the best chance to unseat him early in this race?
Well, clearly Larson's got the best position right now, but Chase Elliott also has been up there. The guy that I've had my eye on is Carson Hocevar. Had a bad pit stop at the first stop, drove back up to 8th, Chris, but had another bad pit stop. I think if they can get their pit stops under control, Hocevar has a car capable of getting up there and doing something.
And I know Kevin Harvick touched on it. Denny Hamlin did say on our pre-race show in regards to Kyle Busch, he said 15 years they were teammates. He said, no teammate taught me more than Kyle Busch, and I really wanted to do well because it will be good for all of NASCAR. Let's go back to the booth.
Thanks. 87 laps complete as we get ready for stage number 2. Ryan Blaney spent a lot of time on pit road. They were working on the front splitter of his car and took the too many men over the wall penalty so they could get that repair made. He'll start in the back.
So yeah, that was from the damage he had from the incident on pit road with AJ Allmendinger. Well, I mean, the tires wore, but it just didn't really affect the cars that much, I guess.
for the restart. Carson Host lost a bunch of spots with a 17.5-second stop. They had to jack the car up twice. 19 total spots lost today for him. He will restart back in 18th.
Yeah, and he's got a, like he said, I mean, he's got a car capable of running at the front of this pack, but you're never going to do it when you have pit stops like that. That's 2 for the day.
Stage 1 went clean and green, 80 laps. Stage 2 is 85 laps. The final stage, 102. The Toyota Camry XSE pace car on pit road.
Right, back green. Green flag. Stage 2's underway. Hamlin and Larson on the front row.
Great push. Teamwork for Toyotas. Reddick pushed Denny Hamlin right to the lead. I was kind of Larson give him a run for his money. Here he comes to the inside crossover. He slide up in front of him. He's looking for it.
And here comes Larson.
He's got it.
Larson for the lead.
Now Denny Hamlin's going to be under attack from Chase Elliott.
Here comes Chase Elliott in second. He passes Hamlin for second. Looks like Hamlin's slowing down. Reddick passes him for third. Hamlin back to fourth.
Yeah, he lost a little momentum when Kyle slid up in front of him.
Well, now he's battling Reddick for third. He got third.
Finally going into turn 3 right here. He's able to get it back rolling.
They have learned some things with the Hendrick camp. Chase Elliott, really haven't talked about him all day. Now they're running 1-2. Where'd they come from?
Well, that's exactly what they do. And Kyle Larson's and Cliff Daniels have kind of done the same thing this year. Just grind away, keep yourself in contention, and let the race come to you. And right now, they've taken advantage on this restart. You see throughout the whole field, everybody knows that as this gets strung out, it gets harder and harder to pass. Need to make it happen as much as you can on these restarts.
But take this restart, put it in your pocket for later in stage 2. And see if this charge to the front at the beginning of the stage will still allow them to maintain speed late in this run.
Well, that's a good point, Mike, but, you know, when I think back at the start of the race, Larson lost spots. He was slipping and sliding around, looked loose, taking off. They have fixed the fire-off speed on the 5 car and that 9 car.
Briscoe and Bell, 5th and 6th. A lot of action back here. Austin Cindric dives to the bottom.
And there's Hocevar digging himself back out of the hole again.
Battling Gilliland, who was able to stay on the lead lap at the end of the stage.
And he's all the way up to 14th, Mike Gilliland. As you see, Hocevar just
being that running past Hamlin again.
Of Austin Dillon right there. But as we look at this run, for whatever reason, we ran a tremendous amount of caution laps right there. And this run is not going to be shorter or longer than the first run with the amount of laps that we ran under caution. So it should be about the same amount of laps on the tires. Won't have to run further.
So on the bottom, Hocevar and Heim, who both lost a lot of spots on pit road, trying to gain them back quickly at the start of stage 2. Ricky Stenhouse was the free pass at the end of stage 1, so he's back on the lead lap. 23 lead lap cars start stage 2.
Yeah, and I think Tyler Reddick, as we see him on the top of the screen, trying to work over Chase Elliott right there for second position. I think he's got to be really careful about how much he leans on that right front tire. I saw him down a lane right there. You see him doing the exact same thing right there. You got to believe. I'm with Larry. I just don't know that the way that tire came apart. I just don't know that that's going to get better.
Well, how much do you adjust on your second run when you've had an issue like that on your first run?
Well, as much as you can, but the problem is you're trying to make passes, and Chase Elliott's making that difficult on you. He's forcing you to run in a line you don't want to run in. Kevin told us at the top of the show, I don't want to be on that bottom. It hurts those tires even more, but I can't go through him.
Yeah,
maybe Dillon is just the GOAT. Maybe. I mean, I feel like if he was the GOAT, he wouldn't be running an 18th.
To take care of that right front tire a little
regularly,
bit
you know.
Kind of concerns me a little bit for the 45 car of Reddick having to work the traffic like he is right now.
Second place changes hands. Reddick up to second behind Larson. Elliott comes back to his left rear corner.
and gets closed off there at the start-finish line, and Hamlin comes right back to them.
Here's Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan looking on at his cars in second place.
Day 2 of his trip. He was here all day yesterday for practice and qualifying. You know, these guys are...
Well, he's having fun, is what that tells me.
Well, you win that much.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'll be here, too. That was close.
Hamlin by Elliott for third.
Well, you got to be aggressive when you're making these passes. And
Yeah, I guess he is, Jaden.
because if you do all the work and make yourself get in a position to make those passes and then don't finish the pass and you got to do it all over again, as close as these tires are on the edge, you got to make sure you make it happen fast so you can put that car back up where you want it on the racetrack.
Michael Jordan's cars are 2nd, 10th, 14th, and 17th. A.J. Allmendinger with an unscheduled stop under green.
Well, we've seen these Toyotas, but look at this one right here, all the way from the trunk. Oh, Alex Bowman on his second return back, second race since his return, looks pretty good. Jamie, what do you got?
Yeah, something great to see for Alex Bowman. He missed 4 races for vertigo symptoms, and then last week coming back wrecked out early in the race. They were not very good to start. Started 33rd today, but they have been working on this car and his pit crew coming through. Last stop up 6 spots. They're going in the right direction. Certainly not terrible, as he said early on.
Alex Bowman has 11 top 10s here, his most of any trip. Now look at this group right here. They have really been fighting hard. Everything but contact among these 4. Cindric Heim, Gilliland, and Riley Hurst. It's a heck of a battle for 14th.
It is a heck of a battle, but we've had a couple of those guys work their way forward.
And for the lead, excuse me, that's not the lead, that's Larson lapping Allmendinger, who just came out of the pits with fresh tires. Allmendinger gets one of his 3 laps back as he passes race leader Kyle Larson at lap 100.
From 5-star kitchens to backyard grills, from sold-out stadiums to powder rooms, from sidewalks to scribbles, blast furnaces to microwave ovens, factory floors to hardwood floors, from pit road to driveways, rocket ships to minivans, and 18-wheelers to 4-wheelers. Zepp has over 85 years of cleaning experience, so messes have 0 chance.
What's up, Cam? Is there anything is the gap between Kyle and Austin's truck every year in our share? Now they're even. Oh, in high set. Oh, no, not like it's just my stream or anything, you know.
Incredible breakthrough, the communications satellite.
It's fine.
These things will make possible a world in which we can be in instant contact with each other wherever we may be. When that time comes, the whole world will have shrunk to a point.
This is Arby's new French Dip Royale. One bite of the melty provolone, caramelized onions, and steak seasoning will have you say, "Hello, Your Royal Highness."
Arby's, we have the meat. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills.
Oh, wait, I'm on the wrong channel, Jaden. I'll be over. Oh, Jesus.
By measuring the sun's distance from the horizon.
How you doing today, Cam?
Looks like happy hour.
You enjoying some NASCAR Cup Series racing?
Chevy trucks are as capable and dependable as the Chevy people who drive them. You probably know her, your sister, your buddy, the ones who always show up.
Doing well.
They all have that little extra.
That's good. Cool Custer's on pit road.
It's Chevy Truck Month.
I don't know if that's an unscheduled stop or if he's just stopping early for strategy. Yesterday was 70 degrees, today it's 38. Well, that's just... Everybody acts surprised by that, but like that just happens every year.
When race days become race weekends, and race weekends become full throttle memories. So pull up in your camper, pick your favorite spot. First race or 50th season. A community that lives
You'd probably enjoy it more if Kyle was leading. Yeah, I would be too. Or would I? Maybe I'd just be fucking... If Kyle was leading right now, I'd probably just be a wreck.
ready for a fight.
But I would welcome that wreck. Or not him wrecking, but like me being a nervous wreck.
The stars of IndyCar. In the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, Felix Rosenqvist starts from the pole next. Only on Fox.
Kyle Larson leading. He now has the fastest lap.
Putting him down, ran his fastest lap here during stage 2. His fastest lap of the race after stepping outside the pole in his Hendrick Chevrolet Camaro. Tyler Reddick 0.6 of a second back. Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman up into the top 10. Chris Buescher, the first 4, as he's been most of the weekend. He's in 7th place. Seven laps complete. 22 cars still running on the lap. How about a Sunday Fox NASCAR? Crank it up.
Crank it up. That's my shit right there. Wow, 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 wow.
You saw the shots from his Toyota Cam as he passed Noah Gragson. They are running one lap down for 26th. Busch is now in the free pass.
So we're on lap 32 of the stage.
23rd, the first car won.
Got 54 to go on the stage. 53 to go.
We just had Crank It Up. We heard all those teams on the radios, but one car that had to change a radio on the last pit stop, Daniel Suarez, thought they got it fixed, but take a listen to this.
Only had one caution today. That was the stage end.
I don't know what he said, so we're still having the same problem. It's got to be in his helmet. We eliminated everything else. I mean, so you can't hear me. I'm not sure.
Well, that's never fun as a driver when or
Daniel Suarez might be having radio issues.
Can actually hear you, so yet to be seen what the outcome is with the 7 car of Suarez as we ride on board the Toyota Racing Cam here with John Hunter Nemechek.
Kevin, I got some bad news for you, buddy. Larson just passed you for the most laps led here.
Oh, that's okay. I'm fine with that. I don't really have any competitive spirit anymore, Clint.
Well, you look at that list, Kevin, you'll have second on that list for quite a while. Almost 200 more laps than Denny Hamlin led. All right, Tyler Reddick running 1.3 seconds behind the race leader. Here's his radio.
We think 30 laps on that's for tight conditions. Yeah, I get that. It'll make it turn, right? But I'm talking about the usage. You know what I mean? Laps on the people up and turn because the race is going to work harder. That's kind of my question. Yeah, I'd say just go off of your
that's a great point that they're talking about right there. When you look at the seams on this racetrack, and the thing that I always used to look for was there
Take a shot every
used to
time
be a
Clint
foot or
says
two
Kevin.
of grayer racetrack where the racetrack would be cleaner. But the seams always, and you can see it from these higher angles right here.
Just take shots whenever I
on the
want.
racetrack right here, but the seams definitely affect the way that the car handles. Each lane has a little bit different banking as well, but you can see the different shades in the rubber on the racetrack right there. So from a driver's perspective, you start hunting around.
So Larson's leading Reddick by 1.3 seconds right now.
Split the seams on the entry to the corner.
Take a shot whenever I breathe.
You just start to get creative.
I'll just take a shot whenever I want.
Do something better than what it is.
I'm an adult. I'll do what I want.
So
I won't let nobody dictate anything for me.
This race here at Kansas with the conditions of the racetrack, the amount of rubber, and things that you have to do with the car.
Except for letting, the Suns and the Red Sox dictate my happiness.
Run my car that will abuse that right front tire the least. They're trying to sort it out. However, as they do, Denny Hamlin gets ever closer. There's a Toyota Cam on board Reddick at third place, Denny Hamlin.
Well, in the first two runs of the race, I mean, Denny Hamlin beat him up pretty good at the end of the run. And right now, I believe we're going to have to run, at least 3 to 5 more laps, maybe 7 more laps to get to where these guys need to pit. But we know that at the end of these runs, Reddick has been struggling with his tires, and when that tire shuts off, you're in big trouble. You just got to slow down.
Larry, how close are we?
Yeah, Mike, we went back racing at lap 88. That means that was 77 to go in this stage. If you split it right down the middle, you're looking somewhere around lap 125, 126, 127, which is less than 10 laps, but we're already hearing some chitter chatter on the radio. Once we cross about 121 or 122, we may see them start trickling in.
Yeah, a lot of times the cars that are handling the worst are the ones that pit first.
Ty Gibbs on pit road, and that will begin the pit cycle for Sunoco Race Fuel with Poet Zero Carbon Bioethanol and some fresh Goodyear tires.
He was screaming about his car tight, and it's not getting any better. Talking about Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, they definitely missed something on that last adjustment as they went into this run. So getting in there early.
Here comes Briscoe and Bell, I believe. It's begun.
Regan?
Like the 20 of Christopher Bell. Late call to hurry up and get to pit road right there for him. In terms of the car, needs a little bit more turn on the after yellow flag stops. Thinks it's going to be good after the green flag, though.
No. I didn't actually want to do that. Fucking idiot. There we go.
Ty Dillon, Chase Elliott. Regan?
Chase Elliott, the 9 car, has been quiet on the radio this run. And I can tell you, looking at his tires after the previous run, some of the best looking tires on pit road, so there's a good reason for that quietness.
So a lot of pit stops happening. Dell, Briscoe, Syndic, Elliott, Bowman's pitting.
Not that many takers in the first couple of laps of this cycle, so everybody's sticking pretty much to Larry's plan here, for the most part.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that depends on like I said, the handling of your race car. If you've given up positions, but you felt like your race car was pretty good the run before on the long run, you can take that chance and jump a few guys that you are around. So a lot of scenarios of where
Pit
you need
stops,
to be. But
indeed.
I think a lot of these guys might be a little gun shy because of the tire wear, not wanting to pit too early to put themselves in a position where that tire could come apart if we run green all the way to the end of this stage.
Eric Jones has been in and out. Kyle Busch completes his stop.
Kyle Busch on pit road. Eric Jones. Keselowski's on pit road.
As Larson completes another lap, that's 124. Keselowski's teammate Ryan Preece, and now all the RFK cars. There they go.
Reddick's coming to pit road. Larson's on pit road. Hamlin might have sped. I wouldn't be surprised.
Keep an eye on that 9 car. He's the one that short pitted him and trying to close the gap on them. You see him up here in the track, man.
Ryan Preece on pit road.
Jamie?
Larson took from the lead after leading 35 laps. He did have porting on the right front after that last stop, but the air pressure pressure adjustment in 4 tires here. Denny Hamlin on the bottom. Tyler Reddick as well. Air pressure adjustment for Denny Hamlin. We'll take a look at the tire wear too, guys.
Slow stop for Reddick.
Yeah,
And not a great stop for Reddick there.
Was coming onto pit road. Denny Hamlin made up a bunch of time on Tyler Reddick.
You see the leaders taking off, and you'll see on your track map the 9 coming in. He's going to get the 11 right there on the right of your screen. That was a short pit call by Alan Gustafson. Great call. Got some track position for the 9. Let's see if it'll hold on the backside of this run.
Busher's on pit road.
Got a little gift with Reddick having trouble too.
Yeah, Reddick lost a ton of ground on that pit stop. Got beat getting to pit road, and then he got beat. Pit crew got beat on pit road by Denny Hamlin. So
Carson Hocevar takes over the lead from Gilliland and Blaney. That 9 car, another 9.00 second pit stop.
yeah, they've been good all year. They've been consistent. They've been fast, and it paid off for him today.
And the addition of the strategy call to pit him a little early.
Yeah, now on the opposite side with Tyler Reddick, I mean, he had a 12-second pit stop. So either they had a bad stop or they were making some adjustments to get that car better. Carson Hocevar right there on pit road, so going to come in and hope for a better pit stop this time. They've had a couple of rough stops.
Hocevar's on pit road.
Car's running fast today, though.
Blaney comes in with him, and that will complete the cycle. Blaney with a new jackman this week. That's the one change they have made. And the jackman that they hired unable to be here this weekend for personal reasons, so they had to dip down and take what was the 4's jackman. He got the 51's jackman, so a lot of checkers moving around on pit road to try to make this happen.
This is about the first weekend I can remember Blaney struggling. I mean, he has been, no matter what track, what the challenge, whether it be pit road or whatever, has drove right back to the front. One of the fastest cars we've seen in 2026. Struggling today.
Yeah, he's about to go lap down.
Kyle Larson goes by, completing 128 of 267 laps in Kansas.
Are you Marcia?
I am. I am.
Thanks for meeting me here. Usually not an interweb dating guy. Barely ever use this phone computer. Unless it's to bundle my insurance with Liberty Bibbity.
Oh, same. I hate this thing, but it's true. You can save hundreds bundling with Bibbity.
Bibbity?
Bibbity?
Bibbity.
Bibbity.
Are you hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Get some lasagna.
And some penny relief.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is Arby's new French Dip Royale. One bite of the melty provolone, caramelized onions, and steak seasoning will have you saying, "Hello, Your Royal Highness."
Arby's, we have the meat.
Turn back time on your engine with Valvoline Restore and Protect Motor Oil. Right now, enter for your chance to win a trip to the FIFA World Cup 26 final with your next Valvoline oil change. Enter today at ValvolineWorldCup.com.
Here's what we'll say about the road to greatness.
The name Ford is synonymous with desert racing. You gotta keep pushing. The desert's not gonna let up.
It sure isn't paved.
It's a challenge just to finish.
So we have crossed halfway in this race. We are past the halfway mark.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If red touches yellow, it'll kill a fella. But if blue touches white, it's bush. light. Head for the mountains.
We'll come back later.
At Napa, we know that the right undercar
Hamlin
solutions
and
can
Elliott
solve
racing for
safety
second.
issues before
Looks like
they
Hamlin's
start.
past Elliott.
Go further with complete repairs and grow your business. From brakes to suspension and chassis parts. Keep undercar under control with Napa.
Welcome back to the Advent Health 400 at Kansas Speedway. Nice turnout here today. The campgrounds were full. A lot of cars in the parking lot and sun-drenched fans. Watching our aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Legends aren't born, they're proven. Kyle Larson, last year's winner, leading Denny Hamlin by 4.8 seconds. Then Chase Elliott, and back and forth, Tyler Reddick. Jamie?
Yeah, Tyler Reddick maintaining right now, but it was a scary moment after that last pit stop. He cued the radio moments later and said, guys, it's right here. I had hard wall of contact right there going into turn one. It was significant. It doesn't look bad there, but he said it's significant enough to knock the steering off just so slightly. So that happened right after stops. He hasn't said anything about it since, Mike, but certainly we're keeping an eye on it.
So of the 7 seconds that he's behind the leader, 3 of those were due to trouble on the right front during that stop.
Well, we talked about that before the race, and that is the weak spot that kind of sticks out with this 45 is definitely pit road. But that hitting the wall like that won't make that thing drive better, Clint.
Larson up front, Hamlin, Elliott, there's Reddick in fourth. Hamlin's lead with the lap car of Noah Gragson. And back to fifth place, Christopher Bell. Regan?
Well, Mike, we told you that he felt like he might need a little more turn after the yellow flag stops. Thought it was going to be good after the green flag stop. But right now for Christopher Bell, just a little bit too tight since we've had those green flag stops. Going to need an adjustment for that.
Yeah, and that's really one of those characteristics of this racetrack. And when it takes a swing, it sticks with you for the rest of the day.
Ty Gibbs, fresh off his big win. First win for him at Bristol last weekend. Running 6th, hold steady.
Yeah, we saw them struggle on the last stop to be able to get the handling right. First car to pit, back on the racetrack, so running 6th right now. Hoping that the handling is improved on the car.
Bubba Wallace had a brush with the wall early and a little bit of contact, but now he's kind of settled out in 7th place, 13 seconds back.
And I really expected him to be contending for the win today with all the Toyotas up in the front. They're doing an okay job right now in 7th position, but definitely expected a little more out of the 23 overall.
Behind him, another Toyota. That's 6 of the top 8. Chase Briscoe running 8.
Seven of the top 13 are Toyotas. 8 of the top 20.
For Brad Keselowski right now, running 9th as you just said, and a little bit too on the tight side for that car. But crew chief Jeremy Bollins told me before the race started, our strength is going to be the long runs. We feel like the longer the runs, the better that we can be, and that's exactly what's been going on.
8 of the top 17.
Chris Buescher back in 10th. Now, he had been the fastest Ford for most of the day, but Larry, they had trouble on their last stop.
They did, Mike. I mean, they had been muddy because their first stop under green was 9.2, 9.2 again at the end of stage 1, but that last green flag pit stop at lap 125, 12.7, that got him behind right there.
Well, he's lucky he's not further behind, but this guy right here, Alex Bowman, has done a really nice job. I was concerned with him after starting 33rd to begin this race and didn't really make up much ground on the first run, but man, since then he's driven his way up to where he is currently in 11th spot, but doing a nice job for his first time on a 1.5 miles this year.
Needs one more spot because this has been his best track for top 10s. Austin Cindric also started out back after a rough day in qualifying yesterday, but raced his way up into the top 20. And now, after restarting 16th, he's up to 12th.
He got Hocevar starting 6th in the race. Boy, he's had trouble on pit road today. He moves up, started up, had trouble, drove back up to the front, had more trouble. Trying to dig back out of that hole right now.
He's been the Ryan Blaney of this week.
Sure has. Austin Cindric behind him. Another car that started way back in 34th. Marched up through the field quite nicely.
And Riley Herbst had a rough day there at Bristol last week, but here he is in 14th place, doing a good job on the lead lap. Restarted 15th.
William Byron right behind him in the 24. Been pretty quiet today. See his teammate up there, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott up in the top 3. So a little bit off of those guys. Really struggled last week at Bristol and just hasn't been able to wrap his arms around what they need this week either.
Says he can't load the car hard getting in the corner, Byron said. Jamie?
Corey, I'm behind him. He started the day 24th, drove his way up to 12th. Then he slid through his pit blocks on the last round of stops back to 16, working his way forward. You know, Corey Heim spent every day during the week in the simulator helping out his 2311 team, and he gets a lot of credit for that. But I asked him, what about real life when you get to get in one of these cars? He said, the things that give me anxiety are restarts and pit stops. Those are things I can't necessarily practice in the simulator. So getting some reps here in just his 9th start ever. He will be back in the car, though, in 2 weeks at Texas.
Thanks, Jamie. Now, Austin Dillon overcame being off the lead lap early in the race, drifted back, but now he's back on the lead lap and running in 17th, the best of the RCR cars. Toys for Tots on there this week. Todd Gilliland, we mentioned, got back on the lead lap, or stayed on the lead lap at the end of stage 1. Ryan Preece completes the RFK trio. He's had a lead lap finish every race this year, one of only 3 drivers to do so. And the last car on the lead lap is Daniel Suarez, who was the fastest Chevrolet in practice and the second quickest bow tie in qualifying. And that takes you through all of the 20 lead lap cars at lap 147.
18 laps to go on this stage. I got the Suns right over here on my iPad. It's a playoff game. I mean, I really can't miss it. Obviously, I'm going to be paying more attention to the race, but
Yeah, well, when it gets really hot, and every turn matters.
They just tipped off.
When it gets that hot, every turn matters.
I get that, but can you take us through the last turn?
Like you said, every turn matters.
If you want to turn data into decisions, then make every turn matter with Trimble. Confidence at every turn.
Here's what we'll say about the road to greatness.
The name Ford is synonymous with desert racing. You gotta keep pushing. The desert's not gonna let up.
It sure isn't paved.
It's a challenge just to finish.
Trying to predict the future is a hazardous occupation. The only thing we can be sure of is that it will be absolutely fantastic. I'm thinking of the incredible breakthrough, the communications satellite. These things
Suns
will
up
make
3-0.
a world in which we can
Let's
be
go.
in instant contact with each other, wherever we may be.
But nice.
When that time comes, the whole world will...
There you go, Book. Dunk on him.
This is Arby's new French Dip Royale. One bite of the melty provolone, caramelized
5-0.
onions, and steak seasoning will have you saying, "Hello, Your Royal Highness."
Oh, nice! Oh, wait, no, that wasn't not nice. That was for the other fucking team. I'm an idiot. If I had the audio on, I would have known that.
Note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Goody?
Circles, Ross.
Okay.
Ah.
Head for the mountains.
You don't win Talladega. You survive it.
Well, poop. They tied it right back up.
NASCAR is headed to Dega, home to speed, drama, and the big one. ARCA kicks off the action on Saturday with racing at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1, followed by the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing at 4 p.m. Eastern on the CW. Then on Sunday, the Cup Series will hit the track at 3 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
New stage lengths at Talladega. We'll talk about that later in the telecast. Welcome back to the Advent Health 400 on Fox.
Yeah, the stage lengths at Talladega. I'm excited for it. First stage is 98 laps. That is more than half the race.
Let's go back to 25th place. And Eric Jones, we're going to go inside ride with Eric in the Advent Health car.
Nice.
This is a great view of how close to the wall they get in certain sections of this racetrack.
Kyle Busch, the car ahead of him on track. They're both one lap down. Along with Suarez, Blaney, Stenhouse, and Custer.
And you see immediately he starts searching down the racetrack, preferred groove up against the wall. Kyle Busch is obviously in that lane, so Eric Jones is like, man, I got to get myself in a position to get some clean air on the front of this car.
You can see the draft that he gets down the straightaway, but hear how much he's out of the gas and the front end takeoff. That car gets smaller in front of him. That's the wake that these things with a diffuser make behind it. You have to get out of that wake. Makes your car really tight.
They've added another element to Eric's Racing to Read program where he goes and visits schools and reads books to kids. His teammate John Hunter Nemechek now comes along and brings his pickleball gear and gives the kids a round of pickleball after Racing to Read. That's your Advent Health Inside Ride. Ty Gibbs, 7th place. About 4 seconds behind Bubba Wallace in 6th.
Yeah, and remember, he's the very first car that pitted on this pit cycle. So these last 8 laps right here are going to be super difficult to hang on to the track position that he has with the way that the tires fall off at the end of these runs. So it'll be interesting to see if he can keep that car together for the next 7 laps.
Very special weekend for Bubba. Not only is his team co-owner Michael Jordan here, but Bubba carrying some very special colors and a special colors to him.
This weekend's a special one for me and my family personally. It's the 300 start. I'm honored to, have another shot, have another Sunday to go fight for a win, and now having the Boys and Girls Club jump on, it's just special.
Well, Ned Jarrett was the first NASCAR Cup driver to win in his 300th start. There have been quite a list of them. Starting with the 2-time champ. And there they are. Most of them are in the Hall of Fame or headed there. And Bubba's pretty happy with his car. Let's listen.
Well, that's always a good sign from the top of the pit box when you're wondering what you need to do. Right now, from the way that he's
5 to go on the stage.
He just needs some track positions. Looking at the lap times right now, he's right in the game with our leader Kyle Larson. Denny Hamlin a little faster.
Kyle Busch pitting with 6 to go on the stage. Why?
So definitely has the lap times to keep himself in the conversation if he gets the track position up front.
It's so stupid.
So right now,
you're not going to get anything from that.
5 Toyotas and 2 Fords trying to get stage points. That's your top 10. With Hocevar about a second ahead of Chase Briscoe for that final stage point.
And when you see Buscher on the screen, you look over to the pylon, and Kevin, you and I have been talking about this throughout the year. RFK does a good job of just quietly taking care of business in the point scenario when you start thinking about championship and year-end situations. They're not where they need to be, but they're taking care of business on points for sure.
Well, and the biggest thing with the 6 car is Brad Keselowski is he's got to qualify better. We see Chris Buescher qualify better, and for Brad today it's going to work out, as you see.
But they just don't go run themselves out of business chasing a magical setup that's not there. They stay in their wheelhouse, stay true to themselves, and get the points.
3 drivers have finished on the lead lap in every race, and they're all on the lead lap right now. Tyler Reddick, Brad
3 drivers have finished on the lead lap in every race. Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski, and Ryan Preece.
You can tell 54 is in big-time trouble.
All 8 races. This is race 9.
Coming back apart. You hear this throttle?
Reddick, Keselowski are in the lead lap. I think Preece is too.
hold on for 2 more laps, and we'll be at the end of stage 2.
Yeah, he's the last car on the lead lap.
Praying that tire holds on. He's in trouble.
Is this a tiring race to drive?
Well, anytime that you get a green flag run like this with consecutive laps, basically 3 runs in a row, you had the stage break to break them up. But anytime you have to run these consecutive laps, I mean, from the driver's seat, it could be taxing just because you're in there so long, tensed up and trying to do everything that you can to get the most lap time out of the race car.
Kyle Larson takes the green and white checkered flag for his third.
So Kyle Larson wins stage 2
2026.
at Kansas.
Nothing stops Ram. That means we deliver knockouts. Boom.
What the fuck?
We don't just ride the
Why does it say that?
We are people. We're light duty.
There we go. That was weird.
Hemi V8s, Hurricanes, and Hellcats. And we're backing them with America's best powertrain.
That was about a 41 minute and 23 second green flag run. I'm going to go outside and smoke. I'll be back for the start of the final stage.
Because nothing stops Ram.
Come on, dog.
Diabetes, it's complicated. It feels like if you aren't perfect, you aren't making progress. But progress doesn't mean changing your life in a day. Progress is drinking coffee like you like it, without an audience. It's turning charts and numbers into confident choices. And one little sensor on the back of your arm can help you live with diabetes on your terms. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor. This is progress. Try for free at freestylelibre.us.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
At Credit One Bank, we believe anything's possible.
I'm on Mars. It's freezing. I'm gonna go back to the module.
But leading your team to the championship? Unlikely.
Okay, that's my personal space.
Landing a checkmate against a supercomputer?
I won.
You can try.
I won.
The award goes to Greg.
Some things are out of reach.
No one's gonna believe this. I got this.
But a card with access to exceptional benefits isn't one of them. Welcome to the Credit One Bank American Express Suite. Credit One Bank for what's ahead.
How fast could a stock car go? Born for bootleggers, built by rule breakers. We don't ask permission. We don't seek approval. We just are. The most relentless, unpretentious athletes on the planet. Chasing glory at 200 miles per hour. Defiantly unapologetic. Authentically Nascar.
This is uncanny. Keelan and Kevin together. I'm not sure which is which, mate.
When I first saw this video that Flo posted, I was like, I had to rewind it. And you look at his hand and the way that he turns the steering wheel and everything that he's doing in there, I'm definitely glad to know that he's 100% mine.
That's the new Show Speed with Harvick and Buxton, fueled by Poet. That's quite an uncanny video. I know you taught Keelan how to drive, but he didn't teach him how to drive exactly like you, did he?
I was pretty freaked out when I saw that video for the first time with the way that he holds the steering wheel and the way that he kind of chops at the wheel and turns his hands. So yeah, we have fun on that show, but it was that video was pretty intriguing.
That's cool. What's for lunch?
Well, guys, if you come to Kansas with old Clint,
you got to have some good barbecue. And if you're going to have good barbecue, it better say this emblem right here on it. A lot of good barbecue, Q39. There's a bunch of them here, but Jack Stack's my favorite. And I figured I'd give my old buddies some Jack Stack. Here you go, Kevin. And if you're going to, the Kansas City connection is definitely burn ends.
Burn ends. Okay.
Burn ends are where it's at. Try you one out.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, they smell good.
I'll do it for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's them.
Okay.
That's definitely them.
Good
Try
job.
one.
All right, we're going to leave Clint holding the bag, and then it's time for pit stops while we
Guys,
grab a little bit of
missing
lunch,
out.
while we look at what's coming up next week on Fox. NASCAR Race Day, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're on Fox with the Cup race at 3 on Fox. Austin Cindric won last year's Talladega Spring Race. Brad Keselowski leads all active drivers with 6 Talladega Cup wins. And NASCAR has flipped the script. Instead of, like at Daytona, having the final stage the longest stage will be first, and the last 2 stages will be short. And that means, as we get toward the end of that race, fuel saving, we hope, Larry Mack, will be out the window. Can't guarantee anything, but that right there, once we clear stage 2, it's wide open to lap 188.
I love the fact that Larry is like hedging his bet, because you just never know what these teams are trying to do from a strategy
Where's
standpoint.
my burn in? Am I not a buddy down here too?
Yeah, you're on the burnt end down there.
I'll send a runner down there, old buddy.
Look at Ryan Blaney's fastest stops this season, and they came right here. A change at the jack position. He was going to get Josh Berry's jack man from last week, but they had to make a last-minute audible call, and yet that team has done very, very well. Regan.
Well, Christopher Bell continuing to have a good run today. A few more complaints this run. The ride quality's not as good for him right now as what he wants, and he went 2 free everywhere except entry as that run progressed on to the 9th car. Chase Elliott just looking for a little more overall grip in the middle of the corners. Jamie?
Balance pretty good for Kyle Larson. Very quiet that last run. He just wanted to know where all the others were running on track around him. That's Cliff Daniels standing tall on the wall, talking to his driver, counting him down. And meanwhile, 45 rather, of Tyler Reddick. He wants to know what that right front looks like. Remember, he had that steering issue after getting into the wall, Mike.
Larson is not going to win the race off pit road. He's going to come out 3rd behind Hamlin and Bell.
Chase Elliott, he was a big loser in that one. Big trouble for the 9th. Oh, he's blocked in, Kevin. Can't get out.
Yeah, he tried to spin it. Just didn't work.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all. So make it take today to see the USA and see it in your Chevrolet.
Meet the new Sonic All-American Smasher lineup. Hand-smashed patties made with Angus beef, always made to order and served hot off the grill. It's a classic American cheeseburger leveled up. Order in the Sonic app today for $0 delivery fee. Live free, eat Sonic.
One of the greatest rivalries in sports. It's going to be a battle.
This is 2 teams that do not like each other at all.
The stars of the IndyCar Series descend upon Long Beach, where every driver is chasing their own Hollywood ending. The road to Indy continues, next on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
Tons of trucks, so many SUVs. Drive everything this April at Burdick Chevrolet.
We can lease a new 26 Chevy Silverado 1500 LT Crew Cab. Now just $274 a month, 24 months. Or save over $8,000 off the MSRP during Chevy Truck Month. 3.9 for 60 financing available too.
Drive everything at Burdick Chevrolet at Drivers Village. Together, let's drive. See what's here at BurdickGM.com.
The
Stanley Success System is to get the maximum award. That means accident investigation, medical investigation, means hiring expert witnesses, and guiding the client to the proper steps that they need to take. Everybody working together as a team over time to understand what needs to be done so that we're all successful, to make sure that we cover every base, to leave no stone unturned. Stanley Law, the maximum award.
Racing is an expensive sport, and you know, I remember my dad working 24/7 because he's taking care of my racing. So the Spectrum sponsorship was huge for sure. I think my dad's the most excited about all this.
Why did you say it's green? There we go. That's weird.
Sponsorship, and I think that's the coolest part for me is seeing how excited he is.
So that for like 2 minutes though.
That
was weird.
I think it would be unbelievable.
Thanks for watching.
Well, OKC's up 10.
WSYT.
Live here at Kansas Speedway, where Kyle Larson, in fact, his last win came here. He is trying to get his first victory of the season and win this race for the third straight year. Quick recap of highlights on the front row. Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Toyotas. Little contact made. Reddick got out in front, but Hamlin led the most laps in that early going.
Yeah, and the first green flag pit stop we had, see Blaney put on the pits, makes contact with Allmendinger. Had a little bit of damage on Blaney's nose. He's now a lap down in 21st.
Denny Hamlin, the stage 1 winner, led 83 laps, but then in stage 2, Kyle Larson, lap 89, gets out in front as far back as 16th at one point, becomes the all-time lap leader here at Kansas.
Yeah, it was about a 41-minute and 23-second green flag run.
97 laps to go here. Who do you like the rest of the way? I know on the pre-race show you picked Denny Hamlin, but you're leaning towards Larson at the moment.
Why are we doing that?
Yeah, but I think it's all going to be all about the restart, who can get out front. But the story to me that's going to happen now is that they're going to have to make the longest 2 runs.
It's still under caution. I don't know what this is doing. Just follow my lights.
On the verge of being worn out. We've seen some issues today with guys, so it's going to be about managing that and just getting great restarts here, Chris.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like we're seeing a lot of cautions, but you never know in the final few minutes.
Oh, you jinxed
of
us.
the race.
You
and
jinxed
stage 2, I think you never know, right? It's happened. That's how it's gone. No stage 2 winner has won a race this year. I thought it was a good note, unless you're the stage 2 winner. Let's go back to the booth.
95 laps to go. Be the longest runs of the day here. Kyle Larson, last year's winner, came out of the pits 4th. So Denny Hamlin will line up with Christopher Bell. Reddick with Larson in row 2. Take a look at the difference here on pit road as Hamlin came out first.
Yeah, he beat him everywhere. Denny Hamlin
It's
beat
still
Kyle
under
Larson
yellow.
on down pit road.
NASCAR is being silly.
Ultimately, got him back control of this race, and you see on his
Dude, what are you
right
doing?
There, Christopher Bell, same thing.
In the top 10 for the restart, 6 Toyotas, 2 Chevys, Larson and Hocevar, 2 Fords, Buescher and Keselowski. 5 cars took the wave around. Smith, Chastain, McDowell, Allmendinger, and Ware. None of them back to the lead lap. So we will restart with 20 lead lap cars, including Daniel Suarez, who got the free pass at the end of stage 2. The only cautions we've had, as Chris pointed out, are for the ends of the 2 stages. Best restarter in the business, Christopher Bell. Let's see what he can do against Denny.
Well, now we're going back green.
As we begin stage 3.
Green flag's back in the air. Hope this thing can figure itself out. There we go.
See Bubba Wallace right there up on top of the racetrack. Put those cars 3 wide down the back straightaway. We heard him talk about
Hamlin with the lead.
he had a winning car. Well, he just put
Bell battling him in second. Got Bubba in third.
Behind them, Briscoe took them 3 wide on the bottom. Herbst took them 3 wide.
Here comes Bell for the lead. Will that allow Bubba to maybe get into this battle?
He's there. Haven't seen him all day. That one's dangerous. He put him out front.
Well, we talked about him yesterday when he had to go out so early in qualifying. Put him back there 11th or 12th. Fell back a little bit at the beginning of the race and has worked his way back up. Pit crew had a great pit stop that last time on pit road. Here he is leading the race now.
Yes, if he had not been in practice practice in qualifying Group 1, Bell might well have had a chance to win the pole instead of starting back in row 6. Ty Gibbs around the outside of Herbst. That's going to be for 10th place. Now underneath. Kozlowski for 9th place. Pulling down on Briscoe for 8th place. Last week's winner.
Made a few passes right there. They definitely struggled on these restarts to keep the track position. See Briscoe all the way up against the wall right there. He had a nice restart as well, but so interesting on these restarts to see the different lanes and how long you can run the bottom of the racetrack as Bubba Wallace still holding that 4th position in front of Kyle Larson.
Larson, last year's winner of this race, his teammate Chase Elliott won the fall race here. Back in 12th.
So Christopher Bell to the lead.
4 Toyotas at the front. Kyle Larson's trying to change that right here against Bubba Wallace.
Three wide action here. Gibbs, Keselowski, and Briscoe getting after it. It's going to heat up. These restarts starting to run out of time. 89 to go. Frustration sets in. Been racing battle with those guys.
And you saw Ty Gibbs right there. He was going to the bottom of the racetrack, and that's the cat and mouse game that you have to play from a driver's standpoint. He goes to the bottom, you got to go to the top. He goes to the top, you got to go to the bottom. You don't want to be in the same lane.
Well, now instead of showing you the scheduled car commercial, thanks to Toyota, we're going to stay right here on track in Kansas and go Toyota all out. Those Camrys occupy the first 4 spots right now. Bell, Hamlin, Reddick, and Wallace.
88 laps to go in this race.
A total of about 3 seconds.
Yeah, and the one thing that's pretty interesting about Christopher Bell right now that I noticed just right there through 3 and 4, he's actually migrated a little bit closer to the wall than we've seen a lot of those cars running. I don't know if he just slid up there that lap or if he meant to do that on purpose, but this racetrack...
Yeah, Kyle Busch running in an amazing 35th position.
To be able to put yourself in a spot, that's
you know who does that?
If you're wondering how many cars are in this race, it's 37. So he's 35th of 37.
In 9 of his 13 career wins, he didn't lead until lap 100. Same song, maybe 10th first today.
And we know for Bell, he doesn't want to qualify in the pole. He's never won the pole. And apparently he needs to lead late in the race to have a chance winning. So it's all lined up perfectly for Christopher Bell today.
It's making sense, though. This is the 9th straight Kansas race that Bell has led laps.
And that's the longest ever streak at this track in its 25-year history.
His wins come.
And look, if this race runs green, and that's been the trend that we saw in the first half of this race, if this race runs green, we know that the best pit crew on pit road sits in that 20 pit stall. They've been consistently the fastest. All the rankings, everything that they have is the best that there is on pit road. So they got it all pointing in the right direction right now for Christopher Bell for this all to line up today.
Denny Hamlin in the picture, just 0.6 of a second back. Now Tyler Reddick sitting in 3rd, 2 seconds off the lead. Passionate about his cars on and off the track, and here's how Toyota supports Reddick's passion.
I think you see the presence that they have at the racetrack, how they activate with the cars that they're selling currently. Some are more on the sporty side. Some are more on the side of getting you to work every day. Some are more on the side of what makes sense for the family. You know, when you think of all the different things they're involved in motorsports, whether it's dirt racing or Formula Drift, they like to go fast and have fun too.
And that's Toyota all out.
3 laps to go. Ty Gibbs not loving his car right now. Listen in.
Jesus Christ, Ty.
You know, in a tight race car, that's all you can do is wait on it to turn 2. If you could give him an audio of a loose race car, it doesn't sound like that, does it, Kevin?
Oh, boy. Fix this thing, it's loose.
Yeah, and really here at Kansas, a tight race car is hard to deal with because of, especially when you're running high. You got a lot of partial throttle, and you want to get that car to rotate about the 5/8, 3/4 mark of the corner, and then it won't rotate. Then you got to lift back out of the throttle and wait for the car to rotate. So it's a fine line between making your car comfortable to drive with the back in the racetrack and getting the front to turn. Jamie?
The one car that's feeling pretty good right now is Bubba Wallace in fourth. This car has just come to life the last about 50 or so laps. Remember, he was leading on the last lap here in the fall when he got together with Denny Hamlin. He also has a win here. Talking to him now about this paint scheme, the Boys and Girls Club of America. He was the Boys and Girls Club member when he was a child. Has great memories. And on April 30th, he will be inducted into the Boys and Girls Hall of Fame in North Carolina. That's something near and dear to his heart. And I know he wants to get to victory lane to celebrate with them and all that they've done for him in his life. So Bubba holding on, pretty happy with the car, just doesn't want to get what Ty Gibbs has, and that's too tight.
Well, he's driven up into the top 4. Kyle Larson in 5th after a tough pit stop. And Christopher Bell seeing his Denny Hamlin get ever larger in his rearview mirror.
So here's the opportunity. What you look for when you're trying to pass, there it is right there. Cody Ware, the lap car in front of Bell. As he catches him, it's important to catch him in the right place and not slow you down with Denny Hamlin hot on your heels.
Well, he definitely caught him in the right spot right there. Denny Hamlin as well. Doesn't give him any problems, so.
Forced Denny's hand to run on the bottom, though. It wasn't necessarily, when I say catch him in the right spot, that's not the best place. You want to try to catch them as you're getting off the corner, but if you're Denny Hamlin, that's exactly the opportunity you look for to pounce on as that leader, Bell, is catching them. It forces him out of his line. Maybe you can stay high, get a run on him up off the corner. Those are opportunities with these lappers.
Ross Chastain coming back up on track after an unscheduled pit stop. Here's
Christopher Bell still leading Denny Hamlin by about 2/3 of a second. Has an over 2-second lead on Tyler Reddick in 3rd. 5-second lead on Bubba Wallace in 4th. And almost 7-second lead on Larson in 5th.
Thanks, Regan. Actually, Chastain, that was a scheduled stop. He was one of the 5 cars that took the wave around at stage end and was out of fuel, if not out of tires, by now. That means we will see Zane Smith, A.J. Allmendinger, Michael McDowell, and Cody Ware underway pretty soon. 191 laps complete, 76 to go on a caution-free day, except for the stage breaks here in Kansas. Christopher Bell leading Denny Hamlin.
I don't know if it'll stay that way.
1/3 of a second.
When COPD tried to stop you, you kept going. Breztri, a 3-in-1 inhaler. Better breathing starting within 5 minutes and helps prevent flare-ups. Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Ask your doctor about Breztri.
Chili's wanted to reintroduce the president and margaritas to a race car audience, but that was pretty complex, so we came up with the catchy line. Presidente. Now, is this here country song about Chili's Presidente margaritas just a shameless way to sell Chili's Presidente margaritas? Yup, sure is.
We got a full screen green flag commercial. Don't love that. 74 to go. Christopher Bell, the leader. He's on 19 laps. Denny Hamlin's on the most laps. He's on 88 laps.
Thank you, man.
Larson led 77.
I know how it feels.
Hocevar led 6.
Hello? Whoa.
Reddick led 2. Busher led 1.
That's my mom. The absolute legend who went from gaming on her phone to ruthless online streaming slayer with no mercy for any living thing is your mom?
Hey guys, apples with peanut butter?
How is this possible?
AT&T wireless and home internet.
Hey, text me if you need anything.
Get home internet from AT&T. Now available across the nation.
No, she's so nice in real life.
Does RAV stand for Rush Hour Avoidance Vehicle?
Or really aerodynamic vehicle?
It is the reverse aging vehicle! I can see without my glasses!
Toyota, let's go places.
Some weekends come and go. Others stick with you forever. Stories told loud. Tailgates that never end. Strangers becoming best friends. Yeah, it's all that and then some. This is Texas. It's not just a race. It's the kind of Lone Star weekend you wish you found sooner. The Worth 400 presented by Liquid Market, May 1st and 3rd. Come experience it once and you'll be back again. Get tickets at TexasMotorspeedway.com.
Well, today, a lot of the positioning that we see on track at the moment is because of the efforts of these pit crews. Make no mistakes. Fast stops keep you up front. Slow stops send you to the back. Contact, well, that's a whole nother thing. We are 70 laps to go. And by example, Carson Hocevar's crew, Hocevar in 7th place, they have lost him 19 spots today, but he's passed 25 cars to get them back. Here's the progressive race summary. Christopher Bell, the latest of 6 leaders, 11 lead changes, 20 lead lap cars. Gilliland the last of those. The only cautions have been for the stage breaks. Hamlin and Larson, the 2 stage winners. And Christopher Bell has extended his lead on Denny Hamlin, pretty much doubled it from when we went to break. Now at about 7/10 of a second.
Yeah, the lap times right now, I mean, they're pretty even. I mean, Denny was a couple hundredths faster on that particular lap, but the guy who's a fair amount faster the last few laps is Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, the 2 cars right behind them. They've been putting down, you know, a 1/10 and a half or so better lap times than both of our leaders. So, like I say, a lot of that has to do with where you are on the track from a track position standpoint. Sometimes you get to a point in a run where somebody finds a better line or doing something a little bit better. So it's very dependent on situations that are happening with traffic and different things and different scenarios. But all 4 of these cars are pretty evenly matched.
Now look at that last lap. Fastest cars on track. Christopher Bell in 1st and Bubba Wallace in 4th. Want to wish Jack Roush a happy birthday. 84 years young today. He is the R in RFK. Roush Fenway Keselowski. His car's all in the lead lap. 6th, 9th, and 12th right now.
Happy birthday, Cat in the Hat. Done a lot in his life, Andy. Pretty cool cat.
Won in drag racing, in Trans Am, in IMSA, and in NASCAR. Well, let's show you Carson Hocevar's day. Wow.
It's been a struggle on pit road today. They've definitely got to clean things up on the pit stops to be able to take advantage of the performance that they have in their race cars. So Carson's done a nice job of keeping that car clean and making those spots up as they lose them.
There is Hocevar just ahead of Ty Gibbs on the Monster Cam. Giving him a wave.
Clear, 1.5, not 2.
And that's how 7th place changed hands.
Right back at you. That's Gibbs not being able to complete the throttle on
on the exit of the corner with that car being tight, got tight, had to lift, drove right back by him. That's super frustrating, Kevin.
Yeah, and Hocevar actually pointed him by to go ahead and finish the pass, but he let off the throttle so much that Carson was easily drove back around him. But you can definitely hear from that in-car camera of Ty Gibbs, him working that throttle, definitely still fighting the front tires.
63 laps to go. We're going to have at least one more pit stop, and we'll talk with Larry about that when we come back.
I've been told my whole life that I'm pretty fast. For a girl. Well, I hate to break it to you, but that's not true. Because with the right team, you write your own story. So no, I'm not fast for a girl. I'm fast, period.
Paying less for less ain't a good deal. But when you pay less and you get more, that's Straight Talk Wireless. Straight Talk's been the same price since they started in 2009. Straightforward, always.
And now plans starting at just $25 a month. Official partner of Nascar.
Wendy's went back to the kitchen to give our famous spicy chicken sandwich a total upgrade. More crunch, more flavor, with heat that just hits. Is this our best spicy chicken ever? Looks like a yes to me. Spicy chicken just got better at Wendy's.
It's Pod's biggest sale of the year. Save up to 30% on moving and storage until May 18th. And see why Pods is America's #1 container moving company. Whether you're relocating or renovating, save up to 30% at pods.com.
Full Dr. Pepper cherry is the best.
Rich Dr. Pepper blackberry is the best.
It's Dr. Pepper and cream soda.
I reckon it's Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream. Find your flavor.
Ally helps millions spend smarter and save more for the things that matter most to them. That's why
59 laps to go. Christopher Bell still in the lead. Reddick has closed it to within under a second.
When the All-Stars come to town, you don't stay home. On May 15th through 17th, you gather the crew, you pack the cooler, you make it a monster weekend. Tailgates, free fan zone fun, and the NASCAR All-Star Race at Dover Motor Speedway. This is the weekend everyone talks about. Get your tickets today at DoverMotorspeedway.com or call 800-441-RACE.
Boom.
NASCAR fans, you earn the driver's ticket. What are you waiting for? Sign up for the free NASCAR Fan Rewards loyalty program today at NASCAR.com/fanrewards.
Coming up next, the fastest racing on earth, Alex Palou, Joseph Newgarden, and the stars of IndyCar take on the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. The road to the Indy 500 continues next, only on Fox. Here in Kansas, our aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear. Tried, tested, proven legendary. As Christopher Bell leads Tyler Reddick by 1.1 seconds now. Denny Hamlin third, 2 seconds back. Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson.
All right, I'm turning that game off. It was pissing me off. They're now down by 21. I'm going to just focus on this race.
Take a listen real quick.
It's pretty decent right here. Just don't let it go free on this last run. You feel like you need to be tighter? Maybe a quarter number. Actually, do you need it? Definitely exit.
Clint, Kevin, I love hearing a driver give that much detail about
Kyle
exactly
goes the
where
third
they
lap
need to
down.
have something change for the final run of a race. That's a good sign when you can be that focused and leading the race.
You're right, Regan. And when you can get that feedback from the driver like you're getting from Christopher Bell right there, it makes your job so much easier.
So Larry, 55 laps to go.
The only two cautions in this race were the stage cautions. Would have been a caution-free race if not for those.
With 94 to go. If you split it right down the middle, that's 47 laps to run. That's about 7 to 10 laps forward.
Imagine that world.
Basically run anybody. I think that's the way you've got to go, but I think about Ty Gibbs, as tight as his car is. Well, his right front even go 47 laps.
And Denny Hamlin, Kevin and I have been watching him too. He's really fallen off in the last couple of laps. I think he might be holding on.
Yeah, I mean, he has definitely lost a few tenths to the front two cars, and he was right with them up until 3 or 4 laps ago.
Now, Christopher Bell has been under fire from Ross Chastain, who went by, and because Chastain was just on pit road 20 laps ago. Remember, he was on that alternate strategy when he took the wave around at the end of the stage, so he flew right by the race leader. So Christopher Bell is kind of walking the dog right now, trying to get to that pit stop.
He's going to be under fire from Tyler Reddick here shortly. Got him by 4/10 that lap.
Yeah, Reddick is closing in.
In traffic. Now, Reddick's dealing with that lap traffic now.
But he's also going to have to deal with that lap traffic, yeah.
Reddick's definitely getting a better car at the end of this
He's
run.
dealt with it.
Reeling him in.
And here he comes.
That 47 lap mark, that's 6 laps from now, lap 220.
Well, first Reddick's got to deal with Cody Ware, who also got some fresh tires there, pulled up alongside, couldn't complete the pass, and drops in line. Briscoe and Hamlin on pit road to begin another green flag pit stop cycle, Jamie.
Well, Kevin noted that Denny Hamlin had fallen off a bit those last handful of laps. Just a little too tight is what he said earlier on in that run. 4 tires stop here, go on the jack, don't have to wait on fuel.
Well, you hear the don't wait on fuel part. You see hopefully the back of the car got full of as much fuel as possible to keep the balance right on that car, but they are definitely not going to wait on it.
Cody Ware completed the pass.
Green flag pit stops for the final time, the other underway. Hamlin made his pit stop. Dylan pitting. Syndic pitting.
That goes to show you
Bowman's pitting.
A new set of tires, that's the last place car passing the first place car. So drastic difference when you put those new tires on these race car from a lap time standpoint.
Austin Dillon has stopped Alex Bowman in his pit. Austin Cindric in the pit lane, along with his teammate Joey Logano. And here comes Ty Gibbs to the pit road.
I like Denny's putting pressure on him. Obviously short pitting there. That won the
Flagrant one for Dylan Brooks. Well, that's great. I'm not watching though. I'm not watching right now.
I think right now,
turned it off because it was pissing me off.
Unless they made an adjustment on Denny Hamlin's car at the end of this run or clean.
I just want to focus on the race.
Definitely not as good, but having that track position will at least give you a chance.
Larson on pit road.
Larson, Van Gisbergen, and Keselowski coming in. Bowman completed his stop.
And we've seen this 20 car at these style of races where everybody starts to pit. We've seen them do this so many times where they stay out on the racetrack and run extra laps compared to the rest of the field and then work their way back through the field. So the biggest thing that you don't want if you're Christopher Bell right now, but you do if you're Tyler Reddick, I want to beat him to pit road. I want to try to pit before that 20 car to try to jump him with the fresh tires for one lap.
Well, obviously the 11 running them down. I mean, it's putting the pressure on him. I agree.
Buscher's pitting. Larson is pitting.
You see Reddick shooting to the bottom now.
Keselowski, Byron.
Chris Buscher in the 17 car been battling with that
Reddick
car,
is pitting.
too tight in traffic this last run. Otherwise, not too bad, just the traffic issues.
Well, you saw Tyler Reddick dive to pit road right there. And if they have a clean pit stop, he's going to be in front of Christopher Bell.
These might be the final pit stops of the race. I mean, I'd assume if we see a late race caution, everybody would pit.
I mean, just the amount of lap time that he's
Almost everybody except for the one asshole who's trying to make a run.
Jamie?
They had just told Tyler the lap before, we're going to pit.
Try to take a risk. Bell is pitting. Elliott. Bubba's pitting.
So does Chase Elliott.
Reddick is out.
Well, you see the 20 Christopher Bell, his guys have been ready for about the last 10 laps. They were trying to time it out and sequence it just right as to when they hit pit road, as well as not have issues with the 41 car who was pitting in front of them.
Well, he hit it right on Larry's number. 47 laps. Splits the stage.
for this final run to the checker.
Keep an eye on that. That short pit by the 11, he's definitely going to beat the 20 out.
Yeah, and
Can he keep it, though?
He's a half a straightaway ahead of Tyler Reddick, so
big.
Now, Daniel Suarez began this run as the last car on the lead lap. Suarez has cycled through to the lead. As you see his number 7 up on the graphic.
Suarez still has to pit. He's the leader right
When
now.
he makes his pit stop, he will possibly fall off the lead lap. That's kind of the gamble of running long like this.
So that was 5 laps. Short pitted, and I'm talking, ooh, hold on to it, Suarez. Suarez got trouble. I think he's got a tire down. Really slow.
Suarez?
Against the wall. Now brings it
Suarez is slow. He's the leader, and now he's in second. Suarez off pace.
Long is not going to pay off for Daniel Suarez, but he will make it to pit road as Denny Hamlin reassumes the lead.
So that short pitted, that was 6 laps to Bell and 5 to Hamlin, or excuse me, to Reddick. That was a heads-up call, and I think if something doesn't happen here, they're going to have a tough time running that 11 down. Could be the winning combination, Kevin.
yeah, well, the biggest thing that the 11 can't happen is what happened at the end of the previous run where he fell off really bad. Hopefully being able to have a little bit more clean air allows that tire to last a little bit longer this run, or the adjustments make up for the handling deficit that they had the last run. But both of those cars of Reddick and Bell had him covered at the end of the last run.
And that 4.3-second advantage Hamlin had at the end of the pit cycle is Sands falling through the hourglass pretty fast. Reddick's already knocked more than a second out of Hamlin's lead.
Yeah, and that's right here. This is not what Tyler Reddick wants to see, having to deal with the 34 car.
Gilliland trying to stay on the lead lap, but now 1 lap down.
You know, I'm glad you said that, and the flip side of that conversation is Denny Hamlin. Look at all the cars that are in front of him slowing his progress down. Not exactly ideal for a short pit situation. Mired back in traffic's preventing him from running big laps.
Well, there's the green flag cycle. Christopher Bell by waiting so long to pit. That cost him his lead. He's back in 3rd place now.
Yeah, and that's the guy that really got
Yeah,
snookered.
Bell's on
that
3rd.
pit stop.
Hamlin's the leader.
Just beat him to the punch right there to get
Reddick
to pit
in
road
second.
first and jump over Christopher Bell. Larry?
Yeah, just looking at the actual pit stops, the time they were in the box. Denny Hamlin was 10.6. Tyler Reddick was 9.5. 20, no surprise, 9.05. Laps to go. Tyler Reddick has now cut Denny Hamlin's lead down to 2.5 seconds.
Everyone has free offers on the latest phones, but T-Mobile gives a lot more. T-Mobile family saved over $3,700 compared to the other big guys in the past 5 years. Our experience plans include amazing benefits like Netflix, free dash pads by DoorDash, and a bunch more. Oh yeah, and a 5-year price guarantee. So you keep saving. Save on a big scale. Switch to T-Mobile and we'll even pay off your old phone up to $800.
This is Arby's new French Dip Royale. One bite of the melty provolone, caramelized onions, and steak seasoning will have you saying, "Hello, Your Royal Highness."
Arby's, we have the meat.
And Doug.
Thank you both for coming in. I'm a bit worried about Doug Jr. I know how important Liberty Mutual is to your family.
They customize car insurance to save people hundreds.
Right. Well, Doug Jr. keeps writing this. This Junior.
Well, at least he spelled insurance right, right?
He did not.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
To tell you the truth, we can take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
36 laps to go. Still the only 2 cautions in this race have been the stage cautions. We might actually just have a, besides stage cautions, caution-free race. Ooh, man. That was almost big.
We got some wild finishes in the spring race at Kansas, and some incredibly close finishes. So much so that Chris Buescher puts his phone away this week because everybody replays this one, the closest finish ever, in which he came out on the short end. What'll happen today, 34 laps from now? Well, things have changed since we went to break. Denny Hamlin has opened up his lead.
Bell has dropped to 5th.
3 seconds on Tyler
Hamlin
Reddick.
has a pretty big lead over Reddick.
Bell got against the wall and then surrendered 4th place to Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, and right now, Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick are going through the same lap traffic, and that sequence didn't quite work out as well for Reddick that time through traffic, but
let's go back and watch him. You see him up at the top of your screen in the wall pretty good, right in the middle of 3 and 4. All the way down, still in it. Finally pulled it out of it. And then 1 lap later.
Yeah, man. That was almost crazy.
Bubba Wallace had to come up the racetrack right there because Ross Chastain was a groove, 2 grooves off the bottom, right in the middle of the road, trying to get to pit road.
That was a wreck that just didn't happen for whatever reason. But we almost had our first caution for cause today, other than the 2 stage breaks. As he got into the wall, I'm surprised that car's holding on as long as it is. Still running 5th. Doesn't seem to slow it down either.
Yeah, well, it cost him a couple spots, but
he got right back to race pace.
He did.
Yep. Around the turn, next on
31 laps to go.
From Long Beach, racing on the streets in one of the longest running street races in the world. This will be a lot of fun next on Fox. The Cup Series goes to Talladega next Sunday, 3 p.m. on Fox, and also next Sunday, the NHRA 41 Nationals, 7 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Denny Hamlin, one of the favorites today. He has been out front 5 times for a total of 102 laps so far after starting this race from the outside pole.
Well, this guy right here is definitely making up some ground, but he's got a long ways to go. Needs to clear this car of Shane Van Gisbergen as quick as he can to get that clean racetrack.
I really think if it goes green, it's just going to come down to tire management and saving those, and Denny Hamlin does that as good as anybody. A lot of experience and wisdom behind the wheel. 21 years he's been doing this. He knows how to save those tires, and that short pit call. I think Chris Gale's got their number if we don't see something. If they don't have trouble, right? It boils down to tire management. Like I said,
Dell up to 4th.
Well, he's got a gap to play with, and I think that as we
Racing
get to
with
the end of the
Bubba.
road, you're going to probably see him have to manage that because we know how bad that the 11 fell off the last run. But he also has way cleaner racetrack this time, and you see the 11 and the 8.
Yeah, during a stage break, Kyle Busch made 2 extra stops. One was a long stop with the hood up, making major changes to that Richard Childress Racing number 8. And Busch is now 5 laps down, so here is your first and last place car in the this race right now with 28 to go. You know, looking at Denny and thinking back on that, I mean,
is Kyle really running in last?
Car running the leader down. He was a third-place car.
Yep,
so that was,
he is.
You knew when you're that
That's
far
beautiful.
off, you've got to set yourself aside quite a bit. And, 4, 5, 6 laps was a big call by Chris Gale. Made the difference.
We have reached the 3-hour mark on the stream.
But let's consider the top 5 cars. Of them, Hamlin was the first to pit at lap 2:15. Reddick has 5 laps fresher tires than Hamlin. Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell, 5 and 6 laps fresher tires. How much a difference will that make when we get down to the last couple of laps?
Well, but that's what my point was, Mike, is the fact that he had to do that as a third-place car and falling off the pace, right? They had to make sure that they had enough laps that they were going to be able to get the lead that they were after in the first place.
Yeah, that little exchange right there with Kyle Busch being hard to pass cost him a half a second on that lap. So those are the kinds of laps that you don't want to have.
And those were the comments you talked about in pre-race, because Kyle Busch was not happy when he was told of Denny Hamlin's comments on Hamlin's podcast this week. It didn't sound as if Kyle had listened to the podcast, but clearly his team has been struggling. And here is what Denny Hamlin said after hearing Kyle Busch's comments.
And that's the thing I love about Denny. I mean, he can separate everything that he does, right? You read this, I'm a podcast host, so I got to answer the questions about relevant topics. Well, he answered them honestly, and he's going to get in the race car and he's going to drive for Joe Gibbs Racing, and guess what? He's banged doors with his own car up here in 3 and 4 to try to win the race and cost his own car a chance at winning. So he's great at separating things and multitasking at a high level.
All right, well, let's turn the volume down on the podcast and check with Larry on his trends for the rest of this race.
Yeah, Mike, this is no reflection on Denny Hamlin, but I do hope my trend falls into place like it did in Bristol last week. If you look at the 8 races so far in 26, the average of the last caution is 21 laps to go, which would be about 2 laps from now, lap 246. And we've had 2 overtime finishes at Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta and last week at Bristol.
Larry, a very smart fellow sitting right to my right, says wishing and hoping is not a strategy, right? It's my strategy right now.
Hope is never a good strategy.
Strategy, hope, engaged. 14th place, Alex Bowman, Corey Heim in a rare Cup start. I think it'll become less rare as things move on as last year's truck champion. You know, if he was eligible for truck points, he'd be 3rd in the standings once he started running truck races regularly here after the season started.
Well, he kept running those truck races because he kept winning them all and had a chance to win $500,000 at Bristol. Wound up a little bit short, but Corey Heim is one of the great prospects coming up through the ranks and has definitely done everything that you can do in truck racing. And he's done a great job every time that he's got in this Cup car.
Less than 5 laps down, Hamlin's winning.
Yeah, he's right there racing inside the top 15, racing for, let's see, 14th position.
Yeah. So the rules, NASCAR's rules require you run all the races to be eligible for the championship. But if you start running races after the season has started and then run them all, well, that kind of meets the spirit of the rule, if not the letter.
See that 35 car of Riley Herbst right there, Corey Heim's teammate. He's actually done a great job today, having a decent
20 laps to go.
Last week at Bristol, Bowman getting a lot of laps in on the mile-and-a-half racetrack. I actually thought he was going to keep going to the front, but kind of stalled out as he got close to the top 10.
Bowman drops to the bottom to make a run at Herbst. This is for a 15th position.
Imagine if the stages cautions didn't exist. I mean, that'd be beautiful. Just had a caution-free race.
With Byron 17.
To this point, at least.
I've been glued on this number right here for quite some time. Just pay attention to it little by little. He's nibbling on that lead. Denny Hamlin. 19 to go. There's time. This can happen. This is far from over.
Oh, it can happen. And I think, It's just a matter of how big the chunks are at the end of this run. When does that 11 car shut off again with that right front tire?
He's taking a half second. I mean, he's just kind of slowly but surely running him down lap after lap. And that math works out. He will get there.
Well, next week we move from the 1.5 miles to the fastest speedway on earth at Talladega, Alabama, and look at NASCAR. They have flipped the script on the stage level. Stage 1's going to be a grind, 98 laps, but stage 2 and 3 at 45 laps apiece. What do you think, Larry?
I think once we get to stage 3, you'll see wide open throttle.
Hammer down and get out of the way.
And that's exactly what they're trying to accomplish. Take that fuel mileage strategy situation out of those super speedways. Great call, and I'm looking forward to calling that race because of that.
Talladega next Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox.
It's going to be a good one, folks.
Denny Hamlin has won the last 2 mile-and-a-half track races on the circuit. Last driver to win 3 straight.
Both were at Vegas.
Back in 2017.
I think Reddick's going to
get another couple tits.
Yeah. He's going to get there, but how close can he get?
I don't know if Reddick will actually get there. I actually don't know.
What happens when he gets to the point of having to be right on the back bumper of that 11 car? You know, he's got, what, 5 laps or so fresher tires than Denny Hamlin.
Starting to slip up here. It's a big slip then.
And this is when you're going to see it. Every lap that ticks by just becomes harder and harder for Denny Hamlin to keep that car driving correctly as those tires get worn out.
He's moving around the racetrack. He's starting to slip around. That's 31.93 to a 69 behind him. That's a big chunk there. Now, and as he starts getting closer, you get the toe off of him, right, Kevin? You start getting the toe, but then you get a little too close, and you'll start to get the toe is pull off of that car in front of you, the draft that weight car has in it. It's going to pull you right to them, but once you get too close to him, you start getting tight and in trouble, having to move around on the racetrack.
Well, the one thing I've liked about Tyler Reddick's car is he can run down like this. He can run a little bit lower than the car in front of him. So, see that distance keeps getting a little bit less every time we make a lap here around this racetrack.
He's there. Now it's time to start racing.
Now, win in, you're in is over, as are the playoffs. We have the chase format now for the final 10 races. But winning is still especially important because there's a huge point bonus for winning. It's not just a normal progression of points from first, second, third. The winner gets a big point boost, and that's allowed Reddick to enjoy the point standing lead so far all of this season. But Hamlin can eat into that lead with a win here today, if he can hold on with 12 to go.
This is going to be a tough one to hold on to. 12
Reddick is closing in.
Long ways to go.
It's a 0.4 of a second lead. 12 laps left.
Well, he's moving around too. He's definitely searching. Now he's moved down on the track.
I would not have done that. He's going to give up a ton of ground to Tyler Reddick right here.
Watch this.
Unless he feels like something's wrong with that car. Those 2 corners, he gave up his whole lead.
Well, he's trying to take the air off. That's exactly what you want to do.
Reddick is there.
Whatever you do, don't give Tyler Reddick the outside, right, Kevin?
Reddick and Hamlin.
And he gave him the outside on this end last lap, and now Reddick's going to go to the bottom.
He's been diving in the corner and coming down, staying high this time.
Yeah, and as soon as he gets to that left rear quarter panel, this is over for Denny Hamlin.
Side by side. Hamlin leads that lap. Who's it going to be? Here comes Reddick for the lead. Reddick takes the lead with 10 laps to go.
And those 5-lap pressure tires show up.
My win pick.
But the call was to put him in that position. It wasn't like you do it. You short pitted him because you just did it for doing it. You had to do it to get to track position to even put yourself in this opportunity. I love the call. It just didn't work out. I hear you. It's not over. 10 to go. Anything can happen at this place. We've seen it. Larry's giving me trends all over the place. Lap cars coming.
Denny Hamlin having a look. Here's Hamlin's radio.
Hey guys, Denny
That's the only way he got this opportunity. You had to short put him enough to go from third.
There's Michael Jordan watching on. His driver has the lead.
Well, I'm sure they're happy.
His driver's already won 4 races this year.
Every time he shows up, they seem to win. So
Looking for his 5th.
I'd come too. I don't think he's missed one of Reddick's wins, has he, this year?
If I was driving one of his cars right now, I'd stop and pick him up myself.
We're 8 laps away from having a caution-free race in Kansas, but for the 2-stage ends. And even though Kyle Larson led with 77 laps,
he's drove right back to his bumper with.
There's Hamlin.
Right in front of him. Move to the outside. Here comes a run.
Oh, man.
it's really strange that Reddick drove all the way up to it.
Here's a run from Hamlin. Hamlin looking on the inside. And Hamlin looking for the lead here. Side by side with Reddick. Reddick pulls away.
It was going to be interesting to figure out what Austin Dillon was going to do. That time it hurt Denny Hamlin. He had a run too.
But if Reddick is worried about that right front tire, he's got no room to baby it for these final 6 laps.
You can hear the throttle in that car. He's without a doubt tight. We've seen the right front come apart on the 45 earlier in the race. Here's Denny looking to the inside. Austin Dillon got lappers right getting in trouble. 45. That's right, Mike. Got in a fence.
And here it comes.
It's fun to see that guy nervous.
5 laps to go.
Reddick saying loose in that race car. Can't get into the corner. And that's why you see Denny.
Here comes Denny.
Denny needs to put the pressure on the rear of that car and try to loosen up even more if he can get close enough. 5 to go.
Denny falls back a bit.
I agree with him.
But I don't think that'll be it for him. I think he has another chance.
Just get out of the way and let him race.
Dillon was trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap so he could battle Alex Bowman there for position, but now goes a lap down. 4 to go.
2 more lappers. We're going to give him trouble too.
Teammates Bowman and Byron ahead.
You got Denny fighting tight conditions on old wore-out tires and Reddick loose.
Jamie?
I talked to Michael Jordan right before the start of the race. The first thing he said is, our biggest concern today is boss man Denny Hamlin. He was well aware of the fact that Denny came into the garage first thing this morning to work on notes from simulation. He was concerned that would be their biggest threat as they battle it out here for the win.
Well, Hamlin now is right.
Here comes Hamlin.
And here he comes.
You can tell Reddick's
He had a big run there.
getting into the corners. That's his loose end condition.
Yeah, and he's all of a sudden started using the whole racetrack right up against the wall through the middle of both ends of the racetrack.
It's about a quarter of a second lead.
So it's just
Oh, Reddick's out of gas! Here comes Hamlin! Hamlin to the lead! Was Reddick actually out of gas? I don't know. He just hit the wall a little bit, and that allowed Hamlin to go to the lead.
And you're seeing it happen right now.
As Hamlin pulls away, Kyle Reddick somehow has enough gas in the tank to hang on to it, and now mounts a charge. Reddick coming back after him. A spinner, turn 4.
Whoa! A spin. Caution is out with 2 to go. Oh my God!
You just can't make this stuff up.
Cannot script this, can you?
No.
Jesus Christ!
Cody Ware spun in turn 4 as the leaders came to the white flag.
Reddick's going to have to pit though.
They'll re-rack and all get another chance. Larry, can you believe
Jesus Christ!
Well, Mike, as many laps as they've got.
Well, we are set up for another wild Kansas finish.
People rolled the dice and got 16 on the lead lap. I'm not sure how in the world you don't come get 4 tires. Don't rule out. Somebody may try 2 though, just for a 2-lap run. It's going to be 1 in the pits. I agree. I do not think you're going to stay on this racetrack and win today. A lot of nerves, a lot of pressure coming down. You got Bell. He's in 4.
So that's about a 49-minute and 43-second green flag run.
His guys are extremely fast.
A long one.
You got to pit right here, because if you don't, I mean, they are going to blow your doors off through the middle of 1 and 2.
This is why these guys got paid.
It's Cody Ware, yeah.
Here are your pit crew rankings coming into today's race. With Christopher Bell at the top, Denny Hamlin's crew in 5th. Where's 45? Not in the top 10 coming in here. We're going to go to overtime. Austin Dillon will get the free pass. We will restart with 17 lead lap cars.
I have to
but
pee.
16 teams have to decide, do we stay or did we go? And let's listen in to Tyler Reddick's radio. What happened?
Don't just what happened there. Ran out of fuel. Had to go to pump 2. All right, I had plenty of fuel in it. We should not have any concern there, so don't know what happened there.
Yeah, and when he ran out of fuel right there, he also ran into the wall. So a lot of things happening getting into turn 3 that he had to deal with. Hit the fence, turn the switch on.
Crew Chief Billy Scott there talking to his driver. Larry, explain this pump 2 situation.
Yeah, the fuel cell has 2 lift pumps in it, and they know when they run out of fuel, they can throw the switch, and it goes to a reservoir. They know exactly how many laps they can go off that reservoir. Obviously, it must have been enough if he threw the switch.
Pit road's open, green light. We're going to see it right here. Stay with us next on Fox. Indy cars from the Grand Prix of Long Beach coming at you after the Cup race is over. All right, here they come, counting. The 2 leaders are in. Larson is in.
Big advantage.
Bell from 4th. Regan.
The code words for Christopher Bell in 4th place were Asparagus or Captain Crutch. No conversation about the car. It is 2 tires for him. And Brad Keselowski, they were always going to make sure they came to pit road. 2 tires for him as well.
Tyler Reddick in the 45. His call was just follow and stay close to the 45. You saw the 45 came in for fuel there, guys, and he jumps 45 out just behind the 11.
Now to Clint's point, no problem with the first 2 getting out first because a bunch of lapped cars separated them in the caution line from the 3rd place cars and beyond. We'll recap who stopped and who stayed out after this.
Mom, I got it.
Change happens fast. Lock in your internet price for 5 years and get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity. Imagine that.
They'll tell you who you are.
What you can't do.
Where you don't belong.
But with the right people at your side, you write your own story.
You don't wait for success. You chase it. Sharper, tougher, faster, with every lap.
And when you give everything you've got, you don't just win. You inspire what comes next.
So yeah, that was the first caution for cause today. With 2 to go, coming to the white flag.
Decide what you do and who you can be. If you have symptoms, be bold and ask your healthcare provider about Cobenfy, a twice-daily pill for schizophrenia. Cobenfy was created with a different approach in mind and delivered improvement in schizophrenia symptoms overall. Plus, in clinical studies, most people saw no substantial weight gain.
Don't take if allergic to Cobenfy. Have trouble emptying your bladder or stomach, certain liver problems, or untreated narrow angle glaucoma. Serious side effects such as urinary retention, worsening liver, kidney, bile duct, and gallbladder problems, slow stomach emptying, serious allergic reactions, narrow angle glaucoma, increased heart rate, and side effects in those with kidney problems may occur. Don't drive or use heavy machinery until you know how Cobenfy affects you. Seek help right away if you have hives.
Wait, is Austin Dillon actually in the lead?
Hoarseness, difficulties
He's gonna get eaten right up.
emptying your bladder.
Imagine what could be. Cobenfy.
Imagine what could be. Cobenfy.
Coming up next on Fox, the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach, a long-running street circuit event. It's going to be a great one. Felix Rosenquist is on the pole, and you will see that. The road to the Indy 500 continuing next, only on Fox. But first, overtime in Kansas. In the Advent Health 400, there are the tires taken on this stop. The first 10 took 2 tires. Chase
No,
Briscoe,
Austin Dillon's not in the lead.
car on 4
Austin
tires.
Dillon's
Every
not
car on
actually in the lead.
lap stopped. Now remember last
Jaden.
fall, Chase Elliott restarted 10th. in the last stop. He was the first car on 4 tires. And watch what happened. There is Elliott, the light blue car on the restart.
Yeah, and it all just works out for him on these restarts as far as everything that opens up. And he just kept his foot in it, carried his momentum. These 2 cars up front, the 11 and 23, have a little bit of contact right here, and Chase Elliott hasn't lifted yet.
And with 4 fresh tires, he whips around both Wallace and Hamlin and scores the surprise win.
You mocking me, Jaden?
Just like that again. And this thing is wide open right now because these restarts, when we get into these situations, just become wild, Clint.
A lot of cars taking the wave around here, so that will give the lead lap cars a clear path behind the pace car. The first 10 with 2 tires, and from Briscoe on back with 4 tires.
With the gap at the 11 and the 40.
So we are in overtime.
It'd be hard to see that from the box, but from up here, bird's eye view, they had enough gap possibly to put 4 tires on those 2 cars and still have that lead. That was an opportunity that just wasn't able to present itself because of the vision and everything else. It would have been a gamble, but I think they may have had time.
Well, we've seen Denny Hamlin struggle on a couple of restarts today compared to Larson and Reddick and some of these cars around him. So he's going to have to get a great restart because he's got a few of the best in the business right behind him with Reddick, Larson, Bell that are always
right, getting to
aggressive
choose.
on these restarts to make something happen.
So we're going to get 2 laps of overtime.
So those 2 Toyotas will take the
Once we go green, if we reach the white flag, the next flag ends the race.
Kyle Larson and Christopher
If we get the caution before the white flag, we'll rack it up and do it again.
Restarts today.
I think this jump comes down to your help behind. I like Reddick having Bell, another Toyota behind him. Larson, he's going to be trigger happy to get to the bottom of Hamlin. That's his only shot to win this race, to try to get him 3 wide as fast as possible, in my opinion.
Well, there's a couple things that could happen right here. I like to be on the outside lane. If you can stay even through 1 and 2, that outside lane is going to prevail down the back straightaway. You just can't give up your right rear if you're in that second lane, and you don't want Denny Hamlin to get put 3 wide.
All right, keep looking back. Wallace, Keselowski, row 3, Gibbs and Elliott, row 4. Then you get to the first guys with tires. Briscoe in row 5 with 4 tires, fresh. Cindric.
Unlimited attempts at overtime.
Busher. 2-lap shootout as we go to overtime, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
2-lap shootout. Here we go.
All right, will the winner come from the front row on this hopefully final restart? They come to the
3 flag.
for Credit One overtime.
Hamlin gets a great restart, but he's got
Hamlin.
Almost too good. Watch Larson.
And Reddick. Here comes Larson on the inside.
Larson looking low and gets there.
Larson to the lead.
Got 20 on the outside. Missed the block. Reddick. Bell with the
And Bell. Oh, contact. Bell in the wall. Bell and Hamlin.
Hamlin, clear track for the 5. Kyle Larson.
That gives a lot of space to the 5. Looks like he's pulling away. We come to the white flag.
Under green, the next flag ends the race.
White flag is in the air one more time around at Kansas.
On the apron. White flag's out.
Here comes Reddick. Reddick to the point.
Bottom of the racetrack. Track is clear.
Here comes Reddick to the lead.
Look at Reddick.
Reddick, Larson side by side. Who's it going to be?
Up front. Here comes Briscoe with their
Here comes Briscoe.
on the inside.
Reddick to the point. And Tyler Reddick is going to win at Kansas Speedway with a miraculous last lap pass over Kyle Larson.
There with about a lap to go, Clint.
Wow.
I thought that race was for sure Larson's. How he got back and got
His
in
5th win of the season.
Larson wanted him to go, be on the bottom, and was able to just drive right by him.
What a great performance.
Reddick on top once again.
The 30-year-old from Corning, California gets his 13th career win today and becomes the first driver since Dale Earnhardt in 1987 to win 5 of the season's first 9 races.
My win pick. Second straight week, my win pick wins.
Christopher Bell spun coming to the white, but down to pit road and then pulled away, so no caution needed.
Oh, Bell had spun?
Broke a toe link when he hit the fence down the back straightaway.
That says he finished 20th.
23-11 racing over Michael Jordan and Denny.
Yeah, it looks like Bell finished 20th.
Of the last 9 races at Kansas Speedway. Grand Prix of Long Beach coming up next on Fox. What a finish. Sure was, buddy. I think Michael Jordan's going to get a new nickname. I mean, he's always been the GOAT, but now he's Tyler Reddick's lucky charm.
Well, I can promise you he's enjoying it. I don't even know that he can believe it. He's just looking around like, I'm going to take this all in because this is not...
Well, he was beat. Did you see how bummed out he was when that car was out of gas? That's why you come to these NASCAR races. He's been a fan his whole life. He said that. We documented it. And that's why he's still coming and now an owner. There's not many sports that can give you that all in one day.
Tyler Reddick with the win. Where's MJ? There's MJ.
Here's Jamie Little.
Tyler Reddick's team ran across the grass to congratulate their driver. Tyler, I don't even know where to start with this. A couple laps to go, you stumble, then the caution comes out, you have to pit, and then you go up against Denny Hamlin and everybody else. How did you prevail there?
Yeah, you know, just really blessed with the late caution. How about that? Was that nuts or what?
Woo!
I couldn't believe it. I mean, first off, I feel like I have to say, obviously, just for how I feel, and I never like being on the outside of it. Really hate that for Christopher Bell. You know, it's good hard racing. 11 came up, and I took off tight. So, not thrilled. I got Christopher there. I hate that for him because he's having a good, solid day. So, man, it's just these late race restarts. It gets really, really crazy there. And obviously, had to run on the 5, and I was just shocked I was able to get to his inside there. So, just an incredible supply house Toyota Camry all day long. So, yeah, it was really thankful we got that late caution.
I know you said yesterday the focus has been getting back here to victory lane at Kansas, where you guys used to be. How much time and effort does this team put in to get back to this moment?
Yeah, a lot. We were really solid here last fall, and the car was a lot like that again here this weekend. So we didn't lead a lot of laps, unfortunately. I let Denny get away there in stage 1, and we were just behind running them in most of the time there. But yeah, to be able to make the right call there, great call by Billy to put 2 tires on, and we didn't have the cleanest restart. I tried to cover the 20, he got outside, and yeah, we were 3 wide and just all ran out of room.
How about MJ, the boss man? He shows up, you guys dominate practice, get the pole. What is it about his presence? You guys just seem to step up.
Gotta deliver for boss man. If he's gonna come hang out with us, we gotta get him dubs. That's what it's all about.
Woo, all about the wins. There's MJ. 5th time this season. How about this moment? We watched those emotions. What was that like watching those closing laps?
Well, I mean, look, I'm racing against Denny, so in essence, I really wanted to beat him because I know we're going to talk a lot of trash a little bit later, but it was a good race. When we started to run out of fuel, I didn't know what was happening, but 23-11, all the guys drove well today. I mean, we finished, I think, all 4 cars in the top 15, so, I mean, that says a lot about the program, and this kid is on fire. I don't even know what to say. I don't know if I can cool him down. He's unbelievable. That was an unbelievable last couple laps, and I'm proud of the whole team.
Michael, how much fun is this for you? The wave that you guys are on this season.
Yeah, when you win, it's always fun, and right now it's fun for everybody at 2311. So, I mean, me being here and being able to see all the wins, I am so happy for the team, and I just think we need to continually build on this, without a doubt.
Congratulations, MJ. Tyler Reddick, he gets the winning flag, and it's the 5th win on the season.
Give Michael Jordan the flag.
Who's used to winning? It's Michael Jordan. 5 wins.
Alrighty, y'all. Tyler Reddick wins at Kansas today. What a good Sunday it was. Always love Sunday. My favorite day of the week. Always is. Sunday is just the best day. Because we have racing. What a great race it was. My win pick won again. And yeah. Fun times. I want to thank you guys for watching, and peace out.